Alright, it's time. Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 809. For August 26th, 2024. I was looking at the releases before we started, and it was like, this is that week. That week where shit starts hitting the fan. But with me today, I have Anthony.
Yep.
And maybe Terrence.
Off everything in the ball market.
What?
Yeah, my home to the ball market.
Yes. And I think Terrence will be here as long as things flow properly.
Yes. I forgot the name of one of the games I played this week. Give me a second.
Oh, shit. You forgot the name of a game. Well, it's an exciting day because we can talk about... Well, I can talk about Star Wars. So I know...
And I can talk about Baccaru.
And Baccaru. Jay just sent me his Visions of Mana review, so that'll be up on Tuesday. Like, there's a lot of gaming going on, man.
Yes, and you need to vamp for a second while I turn on my Switch.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to vamp and talk about how the weather outside is still hot because summer's like I'm gonna do this one more time, which sucked because yesterday I went out and did all my yard work and sweated like crazy. I feel like I lost like 10 pounds through sweat.
Okay, so I have my Switch, so I don't have to check anymore. And if I forget the name, it's a forgettable name, unfortunately.
I mean, we're running out of names at this point.
Sure, yeah, I suppose. I think there's definitely a better name for this game. I don't have one necessarily, but I guess we can just move into what I've been playing.
Yeah, that's because it was hot yesterday.
Yeah, Omochapon. Right, exactly. See my point? See how that just sticks in your head?
Is that the character? Is that the world? Is that the what is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, it feels like it has to reference something, right?
Well, I think the upon is the fact that they are gachapon machines.
Okay, but what's the Omocha?
I don't know. It was made by an Australian company.
Okay, this makes even less sense, but okay.
It feels like a cheap... It feels like a simple 2000 game. In the best ways, not the worst.
Okay.
So the idea is that you know, like the gashapon toys. There's a certain age of person that could be listening to this right now and not remember like gumball machines and having toys, small toys inside them.
Oh my god, that was my life as a child.
Right, exactly. Like that's how I had the little muscle guys that I had. They were selling them in gumball machines.
Oh man, I remember Muscle. Those things were so fun. The little pink dudes.
But by that point, I don't think they had the same market. They were like selling them in gumball machines, right?
Oh yeah, when I was a kid, they were in like actual department stores and shit.
Stores. Yeah, I don't remember them being there. But I had some that were like they were cheaply painted and probably knockoffs. But
holy shit! Like, so I was on Twitter the other day and. Like, something came back to me, which was when Terminator 2 came out, they made this figure where the endoskeleton would go in, like, this container, and you would use this, like, fucking, like, gooey shit that would create the body around it.
Oh, they release one of those every couple years.
Oh my god, I can smell that thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because I think that one had to cook, right?
No, I think you just mixed it.
No, it was mixed because I know that some of them had to, like it actually heated up.
Yeah, you had to bake it in like an oven or something. But this one was just like some powder and some water, and you mix. Oh my god, I can smell it. It smelled so bad.
So they still like. Here's a crazy one. There was a Mega Block set that I had that did the same thing. But it was like almost like a Play-Doh-esque thing
Oh yeah, okay.
that you molded over the inner figure. It was very odd. It was a weird choice, but yeah, it was like an alien. So you could do alien autopsies, basically.
Oh
That was
Jesus.
it was a pretty neat concept from Mega Bloks before they only did licensed stuff and called themselves Mega.
Mega.
But yeah, so back to the thing. So essentially, those Gumball Machine toys, like home. Do you remember Homies?
Oh God, yeah.
The artist is still doing that stuff.
I thought those things were like the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. I figured, like, I didn't think there was, like, I figured it was a corporate thing. It's like, no, it was a very independent project. That was kind of neat to know. Like, that's how he chose to sell his characters.
I mean, it's not. It wasn't the worst idea,
No, I think that's pretty neat. So this is the Japanese equivalent. They still sell a lot of that stuff. Like, I have a mini Sega Genesis that my manager, when I worked overnights, he went to Japan, came back, and he had that, and I was like, I want that. It has like 2 little cartridges and a little controller. It's a really neat toy. So in this game, you play as one of those types of toys. It's a little car, and slowly you get other toys to play as. You can go through 6 different toys, and then there's like 3 unlockable skins that you can find in the world. It's a 3D platformer, but there's no combat.
It's just all like platforming.
Yeah, you're going through a mall and using the different abilities, and it's kind of like got some Metroid elements, right? Because you can go back to earlier areas when you have different abilities to get like extra costumes.
Costumes, the greatest carrot on a stick in a video game.
And you know what? Like, so you start with the car, and then you remember those little toys that were like they had a spring and you pushed down and the suction cup would hold?
Oh my God, I knew exactly where you were going as soon as you said spring.
Yeah, so you the second one you unlock is a rabbit of one of those.
Those things never worked. I swear to Jesus.
No, they worked, or they worked once, and then it was like the spring bent out of shape. There's one where there's a bug toy that you can play that like curls up into a ball. A tank. I really like that. So there's a bunch of Gashapon toys, and then like the giant like Japanese robot that you can play as.
Oh, there's always one of those.
It comes in a box, so you can find the boxes around the world, and they all have actual different artwork on the front to show the skin. And then there's a plane, which I haven't unlocked yet. I'm really enjoying it. It was $15.
Was it on Steam?
I'm playing it on Switch.
Oh, it's on Switch.
Yeah, give me a second. What is this on? Does it say? I'm on the website for it.
What'd you say? A Mocha Pon?
Omo, OMOCHAPON.
Okay. Alright, I see this. Oh yeah, this art style is very much what I imagined this would look like.
Right?
$15.
And yeah, when you get 50 coins, you can go to the actual vending machines and get a skin out of it. Like, there's some really neat stuff. It's clearly very indie, but I am impressed with it. I can't remember if I bought it on sale or if I bought it for the $15.
It's $15 with no sale currently on.
Yeah, so whatever I paid for it in the Canadian equivalent was worth it, in my opinion. I really think this is a neat little game. First time developer too, so like
I see his post on Reddit. I just released my own game.
You know what? I think maybe I saw that on Reddit. If that was from R Games.
R Switch.
Oh no, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I stumbled upon it and I was like, that's a really neat concept. I kind of love that. I mean, I have to acknowledge that I am a simp for being a small character in like a normal sized world.
I mean, that's the best levels in Mario 3. That's where that shit started, man.
It's my favorite levels in Super Mario Land
Oh my god,
too.
this has like a Marble Madness style level?
Sort of. When you're playing as the bug, it curls up into a ball, and then you kind of have to roll it down pathways.
I wonder how
Some
many
of the
coins I got. I might need to buy this.
yeah, there's some like in-game achievements too, and one of them is playing the crane game. You actually have to move the character to bump the stick, and then you have to like walk over and hit the button.
Oh yeah, I need to play
It
this.
it's one of those games that, like, I hate to put it this way because it's not like a fight, but like this is the type of stuff that, like, with a bigger budget, I could see this being like a lot of people in the talks of Game of the Year type stuff. Because, like, I can see that this is very indie, but this concept is fascinating. Like, you're playing in a mall. The mall's pretty tiny. Like, it's nowhere near what a mall would be. But, like, take the size of, like, Dead Rising's mall and have you play as a small character in that world. Like, that's would be fascinating. Because that's kind of what malls are at this point. There's not really small little malls unless they're, like, from the 70s.
70s.
Oh, dude, there's one near me where it's like this is the same interior. It's always been. It was built to be cheap. But yeah. So I played that. I've played, oh man. So I talked well about EDF6 last week. And I'm like, okay, so it's saying like it's the beginning of EDF6 now after that big prologue. And then immediately we start going into calling the frog aliens that they're like just like people, and I just and you know what this worst part is, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same line. It could be the exact same voice line.
I mean, that would not shock me.
And it's just there's such a interesting game that you can make out of EDF. Like, there's some moments in that prologue that I went, wow. The fact that it swooped the camera up to show me these new alien monsters in the sky. I'm pretty sure it may have been just wasps, but I was shooting them pretty quickly. It wasn't. It was very quickly over. But like showing that in the sky and having the alien mothership show up and stuff like that. Those are big moments that are interesting, and like I don't know. There's ways that they can tell a story without having to change much of what they already have. They just choose to be lazy, and that's the worst part about it. Like, I understand you don't want to make a whole bunch of new assets, but like, give it a different color of paint. Like, use the cheap methods that Final Fantasy used to do. Where Square Enix would just like recolor a sprite. Be like, yeah, this is the evil version.
I mean, dude, that's how Mortal Kombat bore the 14 ninjas.
Right, exactly. So like, I wish they were doing stuff like that. I don't know. Then it would. It's just like, and that way you could scale up the enemy difficulty too, right? Because even though ants aren't really a threat, having them with more health is going to cause more problems because they can push you around.
Sure.
And chip more damage off if they're not dying as easily. So, like, it's cool that there's, a bunch of weapons and stuff, but, like, I think Iron Rain is the only one to have, like, actual, like, armor customization. I didn't play much of Insect Armageddon, so it might have been in there. But, like, why are we stuck with, like, very basic same model? Like, I feel like we should also be playing one single character. I think this game is trying to tell, like, point of views from different characters, but at the same time, like, it doesn't show that well enough to make me know for sure. Like, that's a problem. Like, this game could be elevated just by telling a better story with the same assets. And it's like every year another one comes out. It's like, please be better with the idea. And that's the reason why I liked Iron Rain. Like Iron Rain at least was sort of trying to paint the image of the invasion happening in real time across the world. And, you know, outside of 2017's very minor prologue, where then shit hits the fan and then it's just chaos for the rest of the game. I don't know. It's just like this one started off promising and just ended up being the same fucking game from 5 and 4. Yeah. And, you know, again, like, Sandlot made other games. Like, okay, so maybe you can't use robotic alchemic drive, but, like, take that concept and put that into an EDF game. Have, like, okay, so you control, like, small mechs, but have something really big show up, and you have to be able to control it with, like, a controller. Walking with the fucking L1 and R1 buttons, or whatever it is.
I just don't understand kind of like how when Dynasty Warriors was going, like, who is buying, like, Dynasty Warriors was at least popular. Like, these games, like, come and go like a fart in the wind.
And like, I've said in the past, like, the best EDF game is just whatever the newest one is. However, the one you should buy is always last year's model.
Yeah, because it's cheaper and it's the same game.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's some differences. Like, I honestly, if you want the best EDF game, 2017, and then it's Iron Rain, which is more easily accessible. But like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Adding a plane or a helicopter, or, you know, you have these big giant sandboxes of like destructible environments. Why not allow people to experience more of it?
Like, the last significant change that at least resonated with me was like the class system.
And the class system was added like, I think 2017 is the last game without the class system, because in Monster Attack, I think that's the PAL name for the second game on PS2. I think you can play as the Wing Diver. So now you have the standard soldier and the Wing Diver. That's already 2, and then they just expanded it with, I think Insect Armageddon actually was the first to have 4, but that could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember when it happened. I just remember that was like the only change I remember.
Well, that's the reason why, like, Iron Rain had like some like armor customization, and I thought it was a far more interesting story, and had drivable vehicles. Like, hey, there's got to be cars in the world. Why can't you just get in and drive them? And
yeah, we're all just walking out and just walking through these big cities. Like, come
exactly.
on.
So it's like, it was kind of interesting, even though like the running speed allows you to get through the city pretty easily. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's just disappointing again. Like, I figured this was going to happen, but that intro had my hopes up.
Yeah.
You know, what can you do? And then, yeah, I've been playing Bakaru. I wish I had my review out for Friday's embargo.
I didn't even see any other reviews for this game, which is crazy.
I've seen one. So I will say that, like, because we've had this conversation before, I did notice it, Ken. There is some frame rate issues.
Yeah, it just like
specifically on turning the camera. Generally, when a little bit of action's happening.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just enough to be annoying.
Yeah, it's noticeable. It's not the one where it's like so bad it's affecting gameplay. It's just like, yeah. So I have noticed that. I really like this game. It's not a Mystical Ninja replacement. Like, Mystical Ninja is sort of batshit. Like, it is the oddest of oddball humor, and somehow it works. Even when it falls flat, it feels like it was intentional, because it understands that it's telling corny jokes. Like, Mystical Ninja 64 Impact, which is the giant robot version of the main character, even though they're actually two different characters. Like, it just happens to be that the giant robot looks like the main character, from my understanding. He says he's going to. When you're done the fight, he's like, "I'm off to Hollywood." Like, why? What? And it's played off like sort of for laughs. Sometimes there's a laugh track in that game too. Speaking of which, I do kind of find it funny that calling hardcore Republicans weirdo is funny. Like, it bothers them that much because that's a thing that happens in Mystical Ninja. He calls the bad guy weirdo, and every time, every single one of them gets angry for being called a weirdo.
Dude, that's the entire plot of Spyro the Dragon. Like,
is it really?
So the main bad guy, the dragons call him ugly, so he turns them all into stone. Like, that's the whole plot.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right, because they're on the television.
Yeah, yeah. It's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, so anyways, Bakaru has some team members from the Mystical Ninja series and is clearly taking inspiration from it. It's not a Mystical Ninja game. I feel like if you go in expecting like a game that plays like any of the Mystical Ninja games, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're kind of wanting that essence, this is a weirdo, bizarre Japan. Is it the future? Is it the past? I don't really know.
I don't know, man. I know you beat like dewdrops with drumsticks, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so the game is a 3D platformer. It's level based. Even though there's a lot of exploration, it's a lot. The best example I can use is Goodfield's take on Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, like it's very much like a linear open kind of thing.
There's 3 collectibles and 5 5 nuggets.
But the nuggets that turn into books. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's because he leaves his book behind.
Yeah. He just like, I'll see you later. Boof.
He's oh god, he's shaped like a poo.
Yeah.
He's shaped like a poo, and he goes, "Does the scent of knowledge?" Hold on, I think I wrote it to you yesterday. Scent, the scent of knowledge. Here's a nugget of wisdom. Oh.
The poop jokes are abound.
But I haven't hit a level that I haven't liked. There's actually a third collectible. You have to go back to a couple of stages. It's a hidden tanuki. It's one of the neatest collectibles I've seen in a game because they hide themselves as like objects in the stage. And there's like subtle markings. Sometimes it's a tail. Sometimes it's like the design on the object kind of looks like a tanuki face. And then you hit it a lot, and then the tanuki pops out, and that you get them on your spaceship. I'm not kidding. This is just the spaceship turns into a giant mech, and I'm only saying that because it was like shown in the trailers. It's got all the Mystical Ninja elements. There's giant mech battles.
Okay.
There's a bunch of different like ninjutsu sort of stuff. You have like 4 different forms you can use, which I have thoughts about. And then there's a bunch of items you can buy, even though, honestly, save your money. Unless you're in dire need, save your money, because like all the money you can collect can buy an extra piece of health. And as you get further in the game, they keep introducing another heart. There's a lot. This first part of this game is a very linear game. Like it's one stage, like go stage 1, stage 2, stage 3.
It's very much got like that Mario open, like the map where like.
But at a certain point, you stop going through that line because you have like a spaceship thing that you can fly around, an airship, I guess technically, and you move around the map to each level, and you can go back to levels easy, but it's actually more difficult to get around. Like it's slower to get around, I find, because I can kind of fly wherever I want to, which means that like I'm not instantly going to the next point on the map. There is a warp option, but it's a little off. It's not the greatest system, but you can sort of tackle all the stages it unlocks in any order, sort of like Mega Man. All of them have to be beaten. What's neat about this game is kind of the unique ability of this game is that it's sort of rhythm based. If you keep it's very easy to stay in rhythm, though.
Oh yeah, it's not hard at all. It's yeah.
But because his weapons are I don't know what they're called, the sticks that they hit the drums with.
Like Taiko Drum Master is the first thing that came to my brain.
Yeah, the Taiko sticks. And he uses those as weapons. And if you stay in a decent rhythm, you can keep attacking the next enemy in line. There's some interesting moves. It kind of feels like it's Devil May Cry light at times, because you can stay with enemies in the air and like sort of home in on the next one, or say Sonic's battle system, where he kind of just you keep hitting the button and he kind of keeps going to the next enemy.
It is a very generous lock on.
Yeah, it's not easy. Mind you, like I find that some of the because there's also a parry mechanic, because there's like a defend option, and some enemies are easier to take down if you can parry, but sometimes you're just kind of standing in the wrong place and get hit. Sometimes your timing is just a bit off. I have died a couple times. There's no life system. It does the Mario Odyssey. It just takes away coins. Yeah, like I'm not going to spoil everything, but the 3 forms you get feel very different from each other. I really like the exploration in the levels. There was the forms. I was trying to remember what I was like. I was going to come back to something. The forms. My issue is that like I don't use them enough because you only have limited time with them, and if I can parry better, I can do it without using any resource, because I might need it. I might need it more later. It's one of those where I keep holding on to it just in case I need it at a bigger fight when I'm lower on health.
That's the video game trope right there, where you save everything and then you don't actually use it.
Right. So it's a bit of that, even though like every enemy you defeat drops like the spirit stuff that fills up that bar. Yeah, so you do 3 boss battles before the game opens up. I've not done another boss battle since then, outside of the previously mentioned mech, which I won't explain in detail because I think it's just something people got to experience. But if you like big kaiju fights, this got them. Actually, I guess it's a robot on robot fight, but still.
Robot on robot violence needs to stop.
Yeah, like it's. I'm glad this game came out. I don't know why Nintendo didn't publish it, because it feels like a Nintendo game in a lot of ways. Because Good Feel makes games for Nintendo. Like, it's got that art style that you come to know from Crafted World or Epic Yarn. Like, some of the stuff in this game looks out of place material-wise. Like, it feels like it's a made world. Textures and everything. Very colorful. I love this game. It's one of those, like, I kind of knew I would. I did play the Japanese version a bit, but there's a lot of talking in this game.
Yeah, it's very minimally localized.
So yeah. Well, no, I'm talking like there's a lot of text in this game. It's not just like level to level like a standard Mario. And when you get to there's a couple stages that are kind of like the fucking what is it called? The Nessie stages from 3D World.
Oh yeah.
Right? So there's the dog that you can get in. I think it's supposed to be a dragon head, but it acts like a dog. I'm not really sure, but it could transform into like a jet, and it's a shooter segment, and there's a bunch of races that you do. Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff they do there to break up the monotony of kind of playing through levels. But then like I'm playing through one level and it's got a completely different mechanic where I'm shifting buildings, and I'm like, what? Because they taught me earlier that I could move stuff by hitting gears with the left and right.
Oh yeah, like the platform. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then they started putting those on top of buildings, and I was like, okay. So the whole gimmick of that level was me shifting buildings and using them to attack enemies too.
Huh.
It's just this game that feels good to play. Like when stuff is in rhythm, it feels really good to keep moving through, like the vibration of the controller and everything. Yeah, I think it was kind of a mistake from Nintendo to not publish this themselves, because again, it feels like a Nintendo game by the fact that they make Nintendo games.
Yeah, and then it's not like they have a big game right now because obviously they're transitioning. So
Right, because what Zelda comes out at the end of next month.
Yeah, the end of September, I believe.
So it's not like it would have cannibalized sales from Zelda. Not that anything would.
No, Zelda's gonna sell just fine. Although those, for lack of a better term, those Link's Awakening remake style games don't hit as hard as like.
No, it's not going to be Breath of the Wild numbers.
No, it's not going to be one of those.
But it's going to do numbers.
They 100%.
They probably didn't have to make a new engine, because I'm assuming it's the same as the Link's Awakening.
Oh yeah, it was probably built in conjunction, most likely. It's just been like sitting there for however long.
Yeah, this is the beta tools they used in the game.
Yeah, it's essentially what it is.
They're just doing the Tears of the Kingdom thing. Here's all the beta tools. Have fun.
Yeah.
Here's Ascend, and the best ability in any video game ever.
Fucking Nintendo is just like the kings of like, oh, we built this whole ass game that, you know, we would, like, normal people wouldn't release it, but we're going to release it, it's going to be huge. Case in point, Majora's Mask. Like, literally, Ocarina's recyclables.
Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Here's all the shit, here's all the tools we basically use, made into a game. Have fun.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why Game Maker Garage, or Game Builder Garage...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. My son played the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, I think the only reason why that didn't have the same lasting power is because it had no IP attached to it.
No, it's also extremely limited. Like, yeah, extremely limited.
To some extent, so is Mario Maker.
Sure, but Mario Maker is very, like, the mechanics are very familiar. Like, Game Builder Garage was like... Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, take that and turn... Like, because, like, I'm assuming... I've not seen too much of Game Builder, or whatever. I'm assuming it's like a very basic 3D world style game that you can bake.
Kind of, but it also is a lot of, like, did you ever... probably not, but did you ever play Project Spark?
I've seen Project Spark.
It's the similar concept where it's like if then this then that kind of stuff, but done into like a UI. It's a lot of that.
But here's my argument. That, but Super Mario 64.
That's what it's. Mario 64. I can't believe we don't have a Zelda Maker. To be honest with you,
I can understand why we don't have a Zelda Maker, and part of I can understand from the point of I played Super Dungeon Maker, and I realized very quickly that, like, yeah, dungeons are cool and stuff, but like a Zelda game that's just dungeons isn't interesting.
No, of course not. But like maybe you can make your own overworld too.
But then it's yeah, and I think we'd get great stuff out of that. I just think there's probably some difficulty of getting people to want to do that because like they added, mind you, it should have released with it, but in Super Mario Maker 2, they had that world building system.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people took advantage of that.
Yeah, you'd see like there was a few people using that, but
And how much of that was quality then, and how do you have the same logic as like because Mario Maker, the whole thing is if you can beat the level, it'll accept it. How do you do that with Zelda? Right? It's a lot more logic to have.
sure. You'd have to
Like I
limit
was
it to
trying
like here's an area, this is how many blocks you can have kind of thing.
because in Super Dungeon Maker I was trying to do something and the logic wouldn't let me do it because it wants things done a certain way, but the thing I wanted it couldn't do because it couldn't accept enough of a command or whatever. And so I don't remember exactly what it was. It was something about spikes and when they would trigger. And it didn't work. And it was like you had the way you had to put items down, I think it was you had to put a chest and then drag the item into the chest. And you know how Mario Maker does just like block, here's a question mark block, what do you want in it?
Yeah.
You could drag and drop. It just didn't feel as smooth as Mario Maker, I guess. And it's like I just don't think it's as smooth and easy of a process.
Probably not.
So and what's the other thing is like Mario, the expectation is that every overworld level and underground level will maybe look the same, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
kind of
using
an
palettes,
expectation at
yeah.
this point. Outside of the first two Zeldas, every Zelda, the temples and dungeons look specific, right? Like there's unique elements to those dungeons.
Oh,
That's
sure,
another
sure.
problem, right? Now we run into the how do you make enough palettes, I guess, for the dungeons with its own unique items, but then do you lock people out of having items from other dungeons? Like, and then what does that cause for the logic? Because Mario, they get around it by if you're in Super Mario Brothers 1 and then switch to 3, they'll just change all the graphics and logic around to different items. I don't know. It's just there's a lot to it, and I'm like, I don't think it's as easy as people would hope it is.
No, I don't expect it to be easy, but also I bet you there's a Nintendo prototype laying around somewhere.
I mean, yeah, they did add him eventually to Mario Maker, so God knows. I think you know here's what's crazy. I think it would be easier to have a Zelda 2 maker.
Oh God. People be so mad if that was the only
It
one.
would be funny. It would be funny. I like Zelda 2. It's not good.
It's fine.
It's not like great, I should say. It's good. It's not great. There's some neat elements. I like the fact that like sword fighting feels somewhat legitimate with highs and lows. But
And the bounty thrust.
yeah, yeah, they use it in Smash. Anyways, that's it for me. Those are those are my games.
All right. I can't talk about a couple things. I'll save the big one for last. I played some Ridge Racer 7 last night. That game is.
Yeah, I saw that. Why?
I love Ridge Racer. Like
It's not that. It's not that. It's like you had your PS3 out.
Yeah, like I bought a new wireless controller for my PS3 a couple weeks ago, which is really nice. It's got the offset sticks. It's got some really nice analog sticks. It's got some very very nice buttons. Um, so I replaced the hard drive. I put a terabyte in there a couple weeks ago, and I've been downloading some stuff. And like I was like, oh, I have one PS3 disc. in a case. Sorry, like the rest of my PS3 discs are in a binder.
Yeah, I figured as much. I was gonna say that's a lot of discs you threw out.
No,
So
there's
you're
a bunch
sitting
of
right next
discs.
to your VR helmet.
No, there's a bunch of discs laying in it, but I like have one in a case like sitting on my shelf. I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna play some Ridge Racer because Ridge Racer 7 is essentially Ridge Racer 6 Director's Cut, and it's just I can't get over how good that game still looks. Like when you go back to play it, it's just oh.
Can I? Do you do custom images for every podcast episode?
No, I do not. I can now that we're on a different server, but I do not.
Okay.
What is this?
I just DM'd you.
What the fuck is that?
It's Jack's Pacific Metal Virus Sonic.
Oh my god, it looks like he got gooed on.
I know, it's so bad. Holy shit.
Looks like he got gooed on. Maybe I will make that.
Just a close up of his face. Oh my god.
He's got a smirk like, yeah, I like that.
You know how like it had to have been darker gray if you were gonna do that. It had to have been darker gray.
Yeah, it's a little light. It's a little light.
I'm assuming it's supposed to be silver.
That's the hope and the dream, but
that's the problem. And or you don't just do a shitty repaint and you actually like model something. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like model the fact that he's being turned to metal.
Anyway, okay. So yeah, I played a little bit of that. I was downloading some other shit. I always forget every time I boot up my PS3 that when the PS3 first came out, there was like a home downloadable version of Mortal Kombat 2 for some weird reason.
Is there what version?
It's the arcade version. It's just, and you can play it online. Like it's just a weird. It only came out on PS3. I don't know why it exists, but I own it, so I always download it, and I don't know why it's there.
Okay, yeah, because you just installed the hard drive, right?
Yeah, I put it in like 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, okay, that's right.
So I had to go through the PSN store, which that thing is slow, but I'll tell you this: at least I can scroll through the whole thing without my system crashing like the 360.
Well, what's nice is that it's one full list too.
That's a blessing and a curse.
Stop somewhere, you write down where you were, so you know where you have to scroll to, because the list doesn't move around and doesn't have things that are just unlabeled.
No, but it does have 6,000 episodes of core that I downloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every video you've ever looked at on this system is in that list.
My themes.
By the way, you cannot remove those from the list.
God, I wish you could sort that list. Jesus Christ. Those old stores were like so bad. So bad now.
Yeah, we really do have it good. I mean, we do for everywhere but the Switch.
Oh yeah, that Switch store is atrocious.
I'm not saying the Wii store was great, but the 3DS shop was.
The Wii shop was better than the Switch shop. I'm gonna say it.
You know, I think personality goes a long way.
Oh, that music is timeless. Like you hear it right now when I said that.
No, I have the I have the stupid Me Maker theme, the weird fucking delicatessen in France music.
God damn it!
Yeah,
I love that fucking song, man.
I mean, you know, I'd love to go back to something like that, you know, without having to buy a blister pack for a fucking card that I turn over and scratch the back off of.
Oh, absolutely. And what was the like? They were doing the points too. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah.
It's 1-to-1.
Nothing, and then nothing ever cost
what the card costs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so if you wanted your whole use out of it, you had to like do the hot dog to bun ratio move.
I probably still have
of hot dogs, 4 packs of buns.
I probably still have some points on my Wii account, which sucks because that was also console tied. So like that console's long gone.
Not that you could use those points now, anyways.
No, it's closed, but still, I bet you I had some. So yeah, I was messing around with the PS3 last night. Like, I feel like I really need to take that thing apart because like every time I use it after about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, like I can hear the plastic creaking from the heat. So I'm like wondering if like I need to get in there and clean out some dust and
Plastic creaking from where?
the PlayStation, like when it heats up, you can hear the
like,
plastic.
Right, I'm just not sure how the fuck that happens. Like,
I mean, I went on Reddit
I've
and
never heard anything like that.
if you go to Reddit, you'll see conversations about it. Like these old systems, like as you play them, the plastic inside like expands with the heat, and it makes this like sound like it's cracking. It's supposedly very normal, but God, it drives me crazy. So I think at some point I need to take that thing apart and maybe clean it out.
Who said it's thinking as their slogan?
That was the Dreamcast.
Yeah, well, these ones are breathing.
Dude, you ever heard a Dreamcast run with that disc drive? The
oh yeah,
that thing is loud. Yeah, it's thinking all right. Everybody needs to use the constant angular velocity from the GameCube, where the disc is always spinning at the same speed. Like, just do that. Anyway,
now nothing runs off the disc.
No, there's no point in it. Although the PS3, like you can't. I thought you could install like the disc to the hard drive, but I checked it with Ridge Racer last night, and you can't do that.
I think it's only certain games.
Okay, because I know on Xbox 360 you can install what the fuck ever. You just tell it to install it, so the disc never spins. Which for these old consoles, I definitely recommend that if you got the space, because those disc drives, yeah, they're kind of old at this point. What else did I check out? Like I said, there's a couple things I'm playing I can't talk about.
Okay, so here I have a list, just in case we're curious. Here's all the optional games you can install. Cross Edge.
Oh my god, is the list small enough that you could name it? What the fuck is Cross?
Yes.
Oh, Cross Edge was that, like that crossover RPG or whatever. Is that what that was?
Hold on, I now have to search.
Because it reminds me of some like Nippon Ichi shit or something.
You would be correct. It's okay. Yes, it is the crossover. How the fuck did you remember that?
Dude,
goddamn Cross Edge. Cross Edge features characters of Darkstalkers, Disgaea, Artanelico, Spectral Souls, Blazing Souls, Atelier Marie, Mana Kamiya 2.
Yeah? Dude, I remember fucking
Rain Man. Jesus Christ. I think I'm bad sometimes, and then you just know the even more obscure shit. You've hit me with a couple recently where you say something, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I think Terrence joined for a minute, and he heard this conversation, he left.
Yeah, oh shit, Whitey. Yes, I understand, Terrence. Dynasty Warriors 6, Folklore.
Oh yeah.
Full Auto 2, Genji Days of Blade.
Dude, these are all like launch games. What the hell?
Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire.
Okay.
Sigmund
Freud up in this bitch.
Ninja Gaiden Sigmund should be the name of this title.
Dude, that is Ninja Gaiden Sigmund.
God damn it. Time Crisis 4, Unreal Tournament 3. Yeah, these are all launch titles so far. Valkyria Chronicles, Virtua Fighter 5, Virtua Tennis 3, Yakuza 3, Super Street Fighter 4, Blaze Blue Continuum, Tekken 6, and 3D Game Heroes.
Oh, I miss 3D Game Heroes. I need to pull that disc out.
Oh, don't pull your disc out.
I mean, I'm not in public. It's okay. I can pull my disc out in privacy of my own home anytime I want.
Your wife don't want to see that.
She just ignores me anyway. That's fine.
It's just the way you gave up. Yeah, she just ignores me. All right. Yeah. Where were we?
Hold on. She just texted me actually.
Oh, jeez. 3D Game Heroes.
I want to pull that. I want to pull that out and play it.
That game is amazing.
Yeah, I know I own that disc. I'm like, oh yeah, I got that one. All right. Let me run through the indie games before I jump into this because I think that's all I played. I did play some Backaroo. I'm gonna play some more of that. I really like that game. That's very fun.
Speaking of which, by the way, just because I've been in the mood to hack my Vita. I mean, I have an OLED model, so it's gonna be a nice thing to just kind of play portably. Because I have one of those Vita SD adapters coming to me, and going through the games. There's a White Knight Chronicles game on PSP.
Really?
Yeah, just because you were talking about PS3, and I was thinking about PS3 exclusive stuff. And yeah, there was a prequel, never released over here, but full English in Europe.
You know what's crazy is like I logged onto the PS5 last night and like I was going through the classic games because if you owned them, you can download them.
I did that for Daxter, yeah.
I did not know I owned Soul Calibur. Was it Broken Destiny? Like, because apparently I do because I downloaded it and played it last night. I was like, well, how about that?
How does it feel playing that PSP game on the big screen?
It's very blurry.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I didn't love how Daxter looked.
Which is crazy because like I can upscale it on an emulator and it looks fine.
That was my thought too.
Like, how does PlayStation not do better? Oh, hello, Terrence. Are you really here this time?
Indeed, I am.
Wow, he's like here. He sounds like he's on NPR. He's like, hello there. I want to tell you about this video game.
Listen, I have had a morning, and I'm not going to go into it. But I'm pretty tired, and it's man, I'm just trying to get stuff straight over here. All right, how's it going, y'all? What's up? What I miss? I missed a lot.
Yeah, like 50 minutes talking about video games. We already have a title for this episode. It's called Ninja Gaiden Sigmund.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you just had to be there for that.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna listen. I normally listen to.
I haven't got to Star Wars yet, so you're in luck.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I want to hear about that for sure. What did Anthony play? Did you talk about Backaroo?
Yeah, we talked about Backaroo.
Is it good? Because I'm interested in that. Okay. I think I'm gonna get it on. It's on PC too, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on Steam and Switch.
I'd be curious to know how the PC version runs. There's some frame rate dips, but they're not too major.
Okay. Right on. All right, cool. We're going to Star Wars because that's what That's
well,
what
I got to go through the rest of these, so I'm gonna tap these indie games real quick. Cyber Mission, I thought I was gonna dig because it's like a Contra game. It's way too complicated to be a Contra game. Like they got you like changing the angles of your rockets on your back with different buttons. It's a lot. I was like, this is not what I signed up for when you said I'm a Contra-like. No, I just press button, shoot bullet. That's what I need.
That is the Contra way.
Earth Defense Forces modern Contra.
Anthony, they made a Dadish in 3D.
Dadish?
Yeah, I like Dadish. I have not bought the 3D version of Dadish.
I mean, it's the same game.
Concept, but in 3D, I understand.
Yeah, it's just...
I like Dadish. I will buy Dadish 3D, but I'm not paying full price for Dadish 3D. I'll pay full price for another Dadish, but not Dadish 3D.
Yeah. Soviet Project, I tried to play, but you can't invert the aim, so that was out.
It is out.
And then, of course, my normal week, I played a bunch of Rock Band, played a bunch of Madden, and Season 12 of Overwatch launched, and man, I really like that new character. She is super fun to play. Fuck off with this. Oh my god. Matchmaking. You're so bad. You're so bad. I had a fucking tank last night playing ball on defense. He had 4 kills through round 1. I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
Jesus.
I keep getting tanks that are playing Doomfist or ball that they can't play, and they don't swap till the game is 3/4 of the way over. I'm like, it's a little late for that.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Like, this game is over, and now you're going to swap? Like, oh my fucking god, these people. And the ball is halfway across the map yelling, I need healing. Motherfucker, you ain't here, and I ain't coming over there. So
that time I got called out playing playing healer, and the diva was calling me out. but then blasting into combat.
Yeah.
No, dude, like the ball is literally on the other side of the map. And he's like, I need healing. I'm like, come back.
Nah. See, if you do that type of shit, you can't ask for assistance. Cause I kept it a band with y'all. I told y'all, listen, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do some crazy shit. I don't expect nobody to come with me. Now, normally, Megan would come with me. She was my road dog, but we was an awesome duo with them heals and shit. Oh my God. But yeah, like I don't even call for healing if I know I'm going to do something stupid. You know what I mean? Like that ball, man.
Oh yeah. And then like their tank is in our back line killing our healers. I'm like, oh, this is fun. Thanks for peeling. That's cool. Yeah, no. This is why I lose. I'm 9-16 to start the season. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me at this point?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
If I could win, so the way they do it now is like you do your placements and it kind of puts you in a rank when they do the reset, and then like your next like 10 games like adjust your rating. So like I lost like 4 games in a row and my rating would go down like 10% because it's adjusting. I won 1 game, my fucking rank went up 1.5 ranks.
Jeez.
I'm like, you realize I don't belong where you put me, so maybe you shouldn't have fucking put me there.
Right. But, man.
Like, come on, my dude. Like, what are we doing with this game?
Hey, you know where you can go and get some wins? Over to Concord.
I mean, I could go over to Concord, but like, I could kill the entire player base in like 3 games. So
just about, man. I'm gonna talk about it. But go
All
ahead.
Let's talk about Star Wars. Okay, I've been playing Star Wars Outlaws. I will not have a review tomorrow. They gave us that game it'll be about a week that we've had the game. And I am 10 hours into this game because, I'm not a reviewer that's all I do. And I don't even feel like I've really started this game yet.
Wow. That's good though, I think.
I mean, it's
okay.
So
yeah, okay.
Let me. I'll give you the elevator pitch on Star Wars Outlaws. When it hits hard. When you want that Star Wars, like, I'm going around the galaxy, I'm double crossing motherfuckers, like, I'm stealing some cool shit, and I am finding some cool shit, and these characters are pretty cool. And then there are times when I'm like, what are we doing? So, if you don't like stealth games, don't buy this game. God. I don't care if you like Star Wars. I don't care if you want to be Han Solo. Do not buy this game if you do not like stealth games. Because it is legitimately 80 to 90% stealth missions. And these missions are old school Splinter Cell style stealth missions where you go in. If you get caught, there are 2 outcomes. It will be an insta-fail of the mission. They'll kick you out of where you are. Or they will sound the alarm and you will die. You can fight, but you will die because there is a closet hidden in the back of wherever you are just pumping out endless enemies and you cannot kill them all. So those are your 2 options. Now, when you do the stealth missions, like, I'm so tired of hearing games like, there are so many ways to achieve the outcome of what you want to do. Motherfucker, there is one path that is going to work, and the other ones are going to be like, oops, that guy didn't see me, so I kind of got away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the way this game works. So, like, almost every mission is like, sneak into this compound that has like 6,000 enemies, steal this thing, talk to this person, or grab this item, and then get out. Like, that is the mission structure. Now, there are missions where it is like I want to say there's no enemies, it's just climb this area like a platforming puzzle. Which, whenever one of the missions is that, I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Because stealth games stress me out. Like, you're doing your little crouch walk, and you're like watching for their... See, that's the thing that pisses me off about stealth games. Is like you do your little crouch walk, you watch the enemies do their little movements so you know when to go. and then when you decide to go, there's some motherfucker up on like a pedestal up above you that just happens to see you, and then shit just goes to hell, and then they kick you out.
Yep.
There were several missions where I failed over and over and over again till I happened to stumble on this this one side path that the game doesn't really like show you. And as soon as I went down that side path, I'm like, oh, this is the way the game wanted me to go, because Kay will say like, yeah, this is how I should get in here. Like she'll start talking to kind of give you hints. I'm like, why didn't you point me to that spot when you told me to go do this mission?
I'm not gonna lie, this sounds like my type of game.
Oh, it may, if you like those kind of games, this is 100% your kind of game. Because I will say, I don't want to be all negative about it, because I will say, like, the characters in this game are fucking great. Like, I love when I get to a mission and it'll give you a choice. It'll be like, okay, you stole this thing. You can give it to this person to increase your rating with them, or you can double cross them and improve your rating with this other faction. That shit is cool because it's totally up to you. And it's not just an arbitrary thing. When you're building relationships with these factions, you can literally like walk into their areas without having to sneak around. So like you can just walk into their areas, and if they have something you need, you can just steal it. They will also send you items. They will do upgrades for you. So like there are benefits to picking which faction that you want to work with, which I think is really a cool part of this game. The characters are really, really good.
But is the Black Sun a faction in it?
No. The Black Sun is not a faction. I don't even think I can tell you all the factions. I know that they've showed in the trailers the Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
And obviously the Huts are one of them, because that's apparently a pre-order mission, which I think is the dumbest shit ever, but whatever.
So, does the faction system offer replayability?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like there'll be missions.
So it's almost like an RPG, kind of locks you out of the other options.
I don't know if it locks you out, because the faction meter goes up and down.
Okay.
And it's not just the missions that you do with them. There'll also be things that you do around the world where it's like when you do it, it'll be like, well, your reputation with this faction went down because you did this thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So like if you get caught in one area, your faction may drop. Your faction rating may drop. Or if you steal something from somebody and they find out about it, your faction level may drop.
But so then to Anthony's question, because it's talking about the replayability, because I know you said you were like, you double crossed somebody or something on some mission. So I'm assuming that you could go back and then obviously play it out completely different, and you'll get a different outcome story wise or with that faction or whatever else like that. It has that kind of like.
Yeah, there'll be missions. There'll be missions that they'll offer you, or things that you can do that you can't do if you don't make that choice.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it. And that's the other part of this game, is there's a lot to it. Like, the faction part is just one thing. There's also gear, which gear can have abilities. So, like, you can carry more back to tank, so you have more healing items. Or this one, like, makes it harder for people to see you. There are upgrades to your main gun, which you can pick up other blasters. But I really don't like the mechanic of it, because as soon as you climb, you drop it, or as soon as you do any action, you drop it. As far as I know, there's only the one gun that Kay carries, and she can upgrade it to have different shot types, to do shield breaks and things like that. And then of course you got Nyx, who can do all kinds of shit. Like he can pickpocket people, he can shut down alarms, he can distract enemies, he can distract cameras. He is really cool. Like, that mechanic is really, really cool.
Do you play as him?
You control him with the left bumper, so you can hold it, and you can see everything that he can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he moves separately, though.
Yes. You can also just tap it if you highlight something that he can steal. And he can grab items for you. So, like, if you see an item across the way, and he'll solve puzzles for you, or he'll open doors that you can't open. He's really helpful. Like, if you didn't have him, this game would just be miserable. Because, like, there are so many things you can do with him, which is cool. You can upgrade your speeder, so you get a speeder to traverse the open world. And that's kind of how this game works, is like, you'll be on a world, and there'll be like certain cities you go to, and you can do stuff. You can play sabacc, by the way, which is pretty cool. You can enter like big ass tournaments to try to win extra credits.
What does that play as? Because I'm like poker.
Kind of like poker. So basically, what it is you get 2 cards, and the objective is to have those cards. There's a card on the left and a card on the right, and if you subtract the card on the left from the card on the right, it needs the closest you get to 0. That's how you win the hand.
Okay.
And there'll also be like modifier cards. So this card automatically equals this, or this card automatically does this, and you can use Nix to cheat when you play sabacc, which I think is really cool. You can have him go over to the table and look at their cards. So
that's super cool.
Yeah, but if you get caught, you lose like some trust. So
right. I mean, you're a cheater now, Nick.
Yeah,
dirty cheater. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, you have a speeder. You have your ship. You can upgrade both. The speeder is used to kind of travel around the world. There's also a lot of fast travel, so once you unlock areas, it's kind of useless for the speeder, but it's still cool to drive around with it. Your ship, I know a lot of people were curious about the space stuff. Like, you see it take off, you see it land. The flying controls are really good. Space combat is really fun. Space is actually explorable. So, like, you'll find old space stations that you can go loot. There's, like, treasure rooms you can go find. It's like I said, when it hits really, really good. But some of these missions are frustrating to where you'll get seen in a mission and have to start, like, a whole bunch of it over just because you got seen. And the fact that combat is not really an option unless the game deems it so is kind of frustrating.
See, and it's wild too, because if you watched, and I know you like stopped watching some of those, early on because you're like, nope, I saw enough, I'm in. But if you watch some of the, the different videos and stuff, the missions that they show you, and even the developers are talking about, like, yeah, you might be sneaking in this, and then you get seen, and now you gotta start blasting, like shit's going down. Like, it made it seem like it wouldn't be an auto fail for that stealth stuff. It would just kind of seamlessly, now we got to go in loud. You know what I mean?
Oh, and there's certainly, like, the mission will tell you specifically, like, if it says do not get caught, that means if you get caught, it's over. If it says do not trigger the alarm, if you trigger the alarm, like I said,
it's over.
You can fight, but dude, I fought for like 10 minutes in this one mission, and these enemies did not stop coming. Yeah, I'm like, at some point, I just got to I just let them kill me. I was like, what else can I do?
Right.
Like, I've killed 40 people. Like, how many motherfuckers you got in this 5x5 square room? Like, like, Jesus Christ.
Cloning them right out the back.
Yeah.
Those are fresh clones.
Now that I've played a little bit more, too, like, I've learned that, like, as long as you can, like, get out of their view, which their view is terrible, by the way. Like, they can't see shit, which is hilarious. You can get the alarm to come down a little bit, and then sometimes you can hack. So there is this hacking mechanic, it's called slicing, where you can hack doors, you can hack computers, you can turn off, like, turret guns, you can turn off your wanted level, which is hilarious, by the way, like, in World. Because, like, you'll hear all these stormtroopers running around going, I know she's over here, and you'll hear the lady over the intercom, like, this person needs to be found. And, like, as soon as you hack it, she's like, okay, never mind.
Nice.
I'm like, what? Okay. Like, there was literally a mission where I was in an elevator, and at the top of the elevator was a computer that I could turn off my wanted level. So I would go down the elevator, I would kill like 3 stormtroopers, they'd be like, wah, 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 and I'd go up the elevator, turn it off, it's like, never mind.
Dude.
Not a one of them followed me up the elevator.
Nice. Oh, we're all clear.
I was just like, okay. So, like, the game definitely has things that you can break. 100% you can break. But like I said, 10 hours in, and I'm like, okay, I feel like the game's just getting started because I just got my first real crew member. I'm not going to spoil any story stuff. You get your, like, first real crew member, and your goal is to go pick up 3 crew members on different planets. So, like, that's where I am on my way to get my first of those 4 crew members. And that's after 10 hours.
Hey, how long was it before you got your ship?
Probably about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And the thing is, I skipped a lot to get to, like, there's so much crap in that first world that I didn't touch. A lot that I didn't touch.
Well, it's a Ubisoft game, so. That's a good question. So does the map have the typical Ubisoft vomit where there's just points of interest everywhere?
It's not as bad. It's
okay.
Yeah, like you'll see, and they're very clearly marked. Like this is like the handshakes are like these are people that'll let you do contract, and that's the other part. Like depending on how good your faction level is, depends on what missions you can take. So like some people won't give you missions because your faction level is so low, like your trust level is so low for that faction. So they're like, nah, fuck you. And some vendors will give you shit at cost if you do favors for them or if you're in good standing with their faction. So it's a cool game. Like, man, it's frustrating at times. It really is. And you know what's funny is visually it's exactly the same story. Like when it hits, it's like, God damn, this is beautiful. And then like there'll be moments where you're like, holy shit, that looks like crap.
Nice.
So, and it's probably partially because I'm playing on the performance mode, which is always going to be lower res, lower detail. It does have a quality mode, which is 30 FPS, which is fine if you're okay with that. And then there's also the 40 FPS mode. But I'm gonna be real honest with you, I didn't notice a huge difference between just eyeballing it, like between the 40 and the 60. So I'm like, I'm just gonna stay on 60.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, I tried the 40. I think it might have been 45. I don't remember for the Avatar game that they had, and it felt good in the game still. But that game was fucking beautiful, even with the 60 frames. Honestly, it's just a really good looking game.
Yeah, no, that game looks amazing. It's the same developer, so it doesn't shock me.
That's right. Yeah,
but like this game has moments where you're like, God, this is beautiful, and like then there's literally moments where I was like, God, this looks like shit. Like what happened? So
and we ran out of budget for this level. This was towards the end of development. Yeah, we got to here.
And finally, like there's definitely glitches. Like I told you, like you can call your speeder when you're out in the world. One time it hit me and knocked me across the map, which was hilarious.
That's awesome.
I got stuck on a wall at one point and was like falling through a rock. Like the enemies are real buggy. Like sometimes they'll see you, sometimes they won't. Like you be standing right in front of them. They're like, what? Huh? And then other times, like, you can be across the map, and they're like, look, he's over there! Like, what the... Oh, God.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just super uneven, it sounds like.
Oh, 100%. It's very uneven. Yeah.
All right.
But, as long as you can deal with the insta-fail stealth missions, it's a really good game. I just really, really, really hate those missions, and I don't know why why would you build a whole game around that? Like, that's such a weird... Like, let me take one of the concepts people really hate about video games. I'm going to make a whole video game about that.
Yeah. Or, I mean, even if you wanted to have that stuff in there and have the stealth missions, then you just do it like everybody else has been doing it and just have it adapt. Okay, well, now we can go loud. Like, oh, well, that didn't work out. So something gets harder or it triggers a boss fight or maybe it does something with your faction. Like maybe somebody sends a bounty hunter after you or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there were so many ways that they could have.
I mean, Ubisoft's done it better. Ubisoft's done it better. Like Assassin's Creed, like if you go in and they see you, it's like, well, we can get in a fight. And like, unless you clear that fight fast enough, it's like, well, here comes the motherfucking bounty hunter. He's going to whoop your ass kind of thing.
Yep. They have been, because it started out being, it was the insta-fail shit, like, Splinter Cell with that. But yeah, that's weird that they would, I mean, this is put out by Ubisoft. Like, why did,
Yep, and it's a big-ass Dark Souls screen when you get caught. Like, the screen goes red and it's like, wanted, or it's like, captured, or seen, or what. It's like, oh, God damn it. Because every time it happens, like, the first thing I think when it happens, I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta do that all again. I gotta do all that fucking shit I just did again.
And I'm assuming it has like I think you said that it don't have like a checkpoint.
No, like some levels do. Some of them do have checkpoints. Like that's also uneven. Like if you, like that should be my tagline for the reviews. Like uneven. Like, sometimes the checkpoints are really good, and sometimes it's like, we kicked you out of the entire complex, you gotta do the whole fucking thing over. I was like, God damn it. God damn it.
Jeez.
Like, that's also why I only put 10 hours in it, because a lot of times when that would happen, I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done for now. I'm gonna go play something else.
Yep. I had a similar experience with something I'm reviewing, and I was like, nope, I'm done, because they messed up, and that was forever. Well,
Yeah, like man, and it's part of getting old. You're like, I don't want to do all of that.
it is, yeah. Because like when I was younger, I know I would just be like, nah, fuck that. I'm about to beat this. I got this. Like,
yeah, we're gonna do this again.
Man.
We're doing this again.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hit that continue button. Now it's like, all right, I'm gonna do something else.
Yep. I could come back to this. It'll be fine.
Yeah, like I'll feel better later, and I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's Star Wars. It's fine.
I'm still
So what you're
excited to
saying
play
is
it.
It's a Star Wars game in the current Star Wars.
Man, the last Star Wars game I
wow.
played was the
Environment.
shit, which was fucking Jedi Survivor. That game was awesome.
That game is very good.
Which makes me mad because, like, I would really like a game in the Star Wars world that is good, that is not with a fucking lightsaber. Like, can we do that? Please?
Same. That is what I was hoping most from this. I know, Anthony, you're a bit of a Star Wars fan too. Like, but yeah, you said was?
Yeah.
This game is perfect for you because it takes place between Empire and Jedi.
It has nothing to.
Which is wild that Black Sun isn't involved because, you know.
I'm not saying that I haven't seen them.
My issue is always less of when it takes place and more of the story they're willing to tell.
I want to say this. I don't want this to come across the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
The original trilogy had like one woman, right?
Yeah.
This game
is like
two, if you count Mon Mothma.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Like it's like none of the soldiers, none of the people you talk to, like they were all men.
Yep. Yeah.
Like this game feels like it's about 80% women. Like almost everybody I talk to, like all my quest givers and people I talk to, like it is a lot of women. And that's cool, but it's weird because Star Wars was always weird like that. Like it's
but it's hard to find that balance because I feel like I can say this type of stuff because I'm a minority nigga. So since I'm black, so when they try to say because when stuff be predominantly white, and they're like, oh well, we're going to add some ethnicity or diversity or whatever. Now it's like you said, now it's like 80% of that. Now everybody the lower is white, and I'm like, there has to be a balance for it. I get because Kay is a woman, which I'm totally fine with.
She's a great character, by the way. She's the performance of her, great, absolutely great.
Yeah, they did an interview with the I can't think of her name now, and I apologize. The actress that portrayed her and did her her.
I saw her
stuff.
name earlier today, and I was like, okay. Her name is Humberly.
See, I couldn't. That's why I couldn't remember it because brother.
I just heard that. I was like, is that okay? No judgment, but that's a weird name.
Just a little bit, but no, she was super she was super fun in the interview and stuff, and they showed her behind the scenes, and I was like, oh damn, okay. I genuinely am excited to jump into this, but I guess Anthony, I want them to tell other story that again. That's what I was looking for this, for it to be really good, and you not have a lightsaber in sight. I don't know. Did they even mention Jedi? Go ahead.
Here's my. Because Ken was mentioning the lack of women in the original trilogy and kind of the mass overcorrection or whatever.
Yeah.
You could easily explain this stuff if you put a little bit of effort in. It's kind of my issue with all of Star Wars as a whole. Everything revolves around one fucking family.
Yeah, Skywalkers.
Yep.
And the world just doesn't operate the planet we live on does not operate like that. You might think it does because we're dealing, we've see how the president or whatever interacts with other countries and what the U.S. does affects it, blah, blah, blah. There are absolutely countries out there who are just not affected in the same way. There's stories to be told about planets that are like that, about people who do not operate in the same world of the Empire. And it's like, you could explain it by like, okay, well, here's the area where the Empire sort of rules. There's got to be spots they don't. And that's where you would have, like, yeah, the Empire are Nazis. That was kind of the point. Like, look at their uniforms. And it's like, yeah, what did the Nazis do? It was all men. They didn't really treat women well or anybody, right? Like, it makes sense if you're like, well, this part of the universe, the Empire has had its way. This is what you're left with. Because then the prequels which had more women and everything, right? So it's like, you do, even though it's still not great. But it's like, there's more female characters, so it made the world feel like, oh, this is what it used to be. And then it's like, now it's like, okay, but here's all this other stuff we're trying to throw in and tell stories of the other times. It's like, some people that are not trying to be sexist about this, like we always accuse them of. Some people are like just that insane about the lore. Just give them new information, and that gets rid of those angry people.
Yeah,
that's kind of the point I was getting to. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you can see who, with the Warhammer thing that just recently happened, where there was a faction of all women introduced in 40K or something like that.
Wasn't that like Necromunda? Wasn't that like weren't they all women?
Well, the battle. So I know the
battle. I don't know
Warhammer. Were always a faction in Warhammer. But I do remember reading something has happened. I think might be specifically with, there might be like a female space marine.
I think that was it.
That people are tripping about.
Female space marine clan or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was like you had the people who are invested in the lore of the universe not being angry and loud, and the people who really just want to fight about identity politics being the loudest yellers of them all.
Yep.
Right? It's a little bit easier to sort through. But Star Wars has never really put in the effort. Like, the only time they've put in the effort to explain anything was midichlorians. The thing that you didn't need explained.
Midichlorians. Right. Midichlorians.
I don't know what they're called.
Midichlorians.
Midichlorians.
No, it's not midia. It's midichlorians.
Is it?
It's just midichlorians.
Oh, it's just midichlorians.
See, you're all fucking arguing about this piece of shit thing that nobody wants to know anyways.
Dude, we made fun of it when they said it. We're like, oh, so he's got like Jesus juice in him. Like, what the fuck is a midichlorian?
And it's like they've never they explain some things and they don't, and that's the reason why they're not science fiction.
Hello there. Your midichlorian count is so high.
Everything they add to this world doesn't need to make sense.
No, it's fucking Star Wars.
But they want to be treated like science fiction. I'm like, that's why you're not.
The fucking space soap opera. Let it be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I think you'll dig this game. I do. The stealth stuff drives me crazy. It just like insta fail missions have always been like the bane of my existence. Like, I hate that shit.
So, does this get hated on then?
By who? I guess is my question.
By critics?
I don't think so. I think the critics will be fine with it.
Does this game sell well? Let me put it this way. Are the piece of shit going to be able to say, like, this game doesn't sell well because woke?
No. I think this game will do just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it'll critically be around 80, 82 would be my guess. I'm going to be a little lower, probably 7.5, maybe. Just because the stuff doesn't gel with me, but I think this game will be. A lot of people like those kind of missions, and that's cool. It's just not my jam. Like, I like the package around it. The package around it is good, a little janky, but yeah, the mission stuff just didn't gel with me.
Have you fought in space? Did you talk about the space combat?
Yes, I have
space
fought
combat
space.
Cool?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's relatively simple.
Okay.
Like, it's not overly complex. Like, you see some ships, you shoot at them, you can lock onto them, you can use your booster. Like, there's no shield management like in Starfield and shit. So, like,
okay,
you can upgrade your ship, which like gives you better ability up there. So,
right on. All right,
it's fun. That's what I'll say. It is fun to shoot shit in space, which it should be. So,
yeah, okay.
That's it. That's what I can tell you. that I've played. I don't think we can say that we're playing that other game. I don't remember. Fuck, I don't know.
I think you can mention it. We just can't.
I didn't
talk
see
about
anybody mention it on Twitter, and usually there's that
that's
group of
true.
people like, I'm playing this. Congratulations for your marketing campaign.
I have one more game I played.
What's that?
The Halo arcade game.
Oh, you've never played that?
No.
That thing is cool, man.
I don't think I've ever played that.
I didn't love it.
Really?
What is it?
I thought it had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is it the Warthog one, right?
No.
Or are you talking about the shooter one?
The light
I'm
gun?
talking about the shooter one.
Okay, yeah. I like that. That's fun.
You're fighting elites and grunts in like a spaceship in the first level.
Kind of reminds me of like a big budget, like that Jurassic Park game or whatever.
Yeah, I think I like Jurassic Park more.
Well, I love Jurassic Park Arcade. So good.
And I wish arcades were still a thing. Okay, I guess I'll just go real fast to the stuff I'm playing because it's like, the hour grows late and I was late and I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
You should be.
Helping out. Okay, so shoot. I mean, if I can't even, okay, hold on. Let me open this other list. All right, so I'm playing for review. Some which I'm gonna have to write tonight. Age of Mythology Retold. I can't talk about that, but you'll be able to read the review. I played.
I forgot that was one of the games coming up, dude. There's
so many.
That's Age of Mythology, Star Wars, Visions of Mana, like all those embargoes are up this week, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So is this next one, Gundam Breaker 4.
I forgot that was coming up.
Yeah, I think that's this week. I have to look at that, but I'll have that for you as well. So I can't talk about that one. I am playing Concord for review. I can't talk about that. Listen, okay, listen, y'all, listen. Jesus Christ. God dang. So when I played the beta for this, I was like, this stuff is solid. Like, the shooting and stuff, which remains the same. The shooting and stuff is fine. But now that I've gotten more in depth and got to play with some of the systems, one, this game is doing too fucking much. Okay. This is a hero shooter. All right. And I shit you not, there are 6 different classes in this game. Why do you need any more than an attack, a support, and a tank? Why do you need 6 different classes?
Because you got to differentiate yourself from the Overwatch.
Bro, not only, and this is where this game like starts to fall apart from even just being in the same conversation as some of these other hero shooters. They don't explain to you these different classes. When you go into a match, you're just thrown into, you pick your match, whether you're going to do ones that's like death match, and then they have ones that's more Call of Duty-esque, where there's like domination, where you have to capture points
and
earn.
That.
Yeah. And that's really, this game is more like a hero shooter, but Call of Duty, or than Overwatch.
So like Destiny.
Yeah. Actually, yes. Yeah. It's more like Destiny than Overwatch, but they don't explain to you these different classes. You're thrown in, you just pick a character, and it'll say like, when you pick your character, it'll be like advanced mobility or increased health received or something like that. And you're like, what the fuck does that mean? Well, once you actually do the digging yourself, you find that each of these characters, like if you pick them, they do team buffs, because you're meant to be a whole like pirate group, like a free gunners. So you play off of each other. So you could pick one character, like the tank character, that may give the entire team, they'll get more healing received. And then you have somebody else who like increases everybody's accuracy. And you have somebody else that gives everybody mobility. So you want to pick your stuff based off of that. But there's nothing in this game that puts that information forward. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
Dig.
Like even on the character select screen, it doesn't separate them into classes.
Nope.
Which is what threw me off when I played it, because like I was playing in the beta, and I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna pick this character, and like before I even had time to see what they did, the game was like throwing me into it.
Yep.
And I'm like, if you just would have, one of the things, like people joke about Overwatch all the time. One of the things that game did so fucking well was the visual language. The characters
Absolutely.
were separated by their class, and if you look at them, tanks look like tanks.
Absolutely.
DPS look like DPS. Like, they had a visual language to the character design that you would know what they did.
Yep. And it was easy to pick up and, to approach and stuff. Concord, yeah, they ain't got shit like that. Like, you'll see a guy, and it's so funny because Amanda was in here when I was like going through it, and we were like looking at some of the characters, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think this dude." So his class, he's a ranger, right? Why is this nigga's whole kit healing? What? You're a ranger, but all of your abilities are healing? What are we doing?
Like,
so are all the Rangers healers?
Yeah,
they're not.
That's kind of a weird thing. Yeah,
this game is so I don't know. I think they were just in such a rush, which is wild because it was been 8 years to capitalize on Overwatch's success or whatever, or to clone it, that they just YOLO'd. Like they missed some of the nuance I think that Blizzard did with Overwatch, because this is not it. And I haven't even, the fact that it cost money. That's why there's only 600 people playing it on a Saturday night, the weekend the game came out.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking numbers is that? That's insane.
Dude, that might be the worst multiplayer launch I've ever seen in my life. And it's crazy because the game isn't like atrocious.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Awful. Yeah, it's doing too much. Like, it's got a whole lot of different ideas. Some of the stuff is good, like the different like buffs, like passives that you get for building your team. That kind of is cool because it
team synergy,
it helps to push people.
thing.
Yeah, team synergy thing. Yeah, it helps push people in that direction. I kind of like that. But the fact that you don't explain it, there's no tutorial, there's nothing. And then if you want to find lore about the game, they have this galactic guide, right? Which is basically this giant star map with all these different points that you go to and that you read. Like, it's paragraphs of stuff. So lore lovers enjoy of stuff that happened on this planet and stuff that happened throughout this galaxy's history and stuff. What? Again, Overwatch presented us with animated, videos. For the characters and stuff like that.
Doesn't Concord do that on like a weekly basis or monthly basis or something?
Yes, it does. So there's one, I think it's weekly. So there's one video that's up right now that's the little intro that basically explains the story. But even that is weird because like, you're a team. So the 4 characters it shows are on a team together. Like, they're free runners. Like, the story in this galaxy is that there was some bigger race that controlled star travel, and some pirate ship, the Indomitable, I think it's called, or something like that. Their crew went and either fought or bargained with this race and was able to get the star map, and now they give it out for free, and which is why everybody is free gunners. So you're presented with this map. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No one's gonna fucking remember this.
Oh,
this
no.
Lore.
No.
I'm just gonna stop you from using your breath. This lore is going straight into the dumpster. No one's playing this shit. No one playing and no one cares.
Man, I'm telling you, it's just I don't know. Like they were just trying to mimic.
If this was a game that I thought we needed to it was worthwhile talking about, I'd be letting you go on. But you're gonna be talking about lore, and I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna be throwing these. They're gonna be drilling the holes into the fucking hard drives in a week.
Well, here's the other part of this, just so you're aware. These videos only come out once a week, right?
Yes,
they're not even going to get through the intro.
I really don't think so. The only reason I'm still playing it is because I have to review it. So I'm trying to make sure that I touch on each and everything. But it's such a push to make myself do it, because it's not, again, the gameplay is not bad. It's just that there's so much stuff that I don't understand that I feel like I shouldn't have to dig to find out. And I ain't even talked about the fucking time to kill.
I hated the time to kill. Is terrible in that game.
Listen, because I had been using the rocket character that I told you about that I played with in the beta, and I didn't really notice, I guess, because she had, splash damage and stuff, and it's a rocket. Well, I'm going through all the different characters, so I picked basically Soldier 76 in this. He got like a smoke grenade and a machine gun or whatever. I put a clip in a guy and his health barely went down to half. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I got killed. And I'm like, what more was I supposed to do? Throw my shoe at him? Like, I don't know. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
like,
the time to kill felt really long for a game that kind of focuses on deathmatch. Like, I can understand if it's like an objective-based game, but like when one of your modes is like deathmatch, like.
I just, the only thing that I can guess, and again, this is just me spitballing here, is that the reason they have it that high is because, again, they want to focus on team synergy. So you're supposed to be with people and not kind of like just in a fight. I don't know, but it makes no sense that it takes so many bullets. And I don't know. Just listen, y'all. Just wait for it to go free to play and then just forget about it.
I don't think free to play is going to save it, to be honest with you.
I don't really think it is either. I really don't think it is either. And by the time it goes free to play, everybody's going to forget about it.
Yeah, like, that's the problem. Is like it comes out, people tried the beta, they're like, this isn't as good as A, B, or C game that I'm already playing. I'm not going to bother with it, kind of thing.
Yep. That's what it's going to be. So that's Concord. We can't mention that. So I'm playing that for review, playing something else for review. I played some more Dragon's Dogma 2. I played, I hopped into Killer Clowns from Outer Space because I got a email about they put in an update where you could remap the controls and stuff, which was a part of some of the issues I had with it. But I messed with that, and that game's still fun. There's like 3 people playing it because like all of my matches were basically bots and like it's me and one other guy. So
it's crazy how many of these games they make and none of them like hit.
None of them.
It's crazy because it's
like
such
the thing you were just talking about with fucking Concord.
It is.
How many times listen, I'm sure it's obvious by now I'm a little high today. But like I shouldn't be the person speaking wisdom. Stop chasing trends. Stop it. And everybody always goes, but what about the one other game that's allowed to exist in this fucking trend? Like, there's 2 big MOBAs, a third if you count, like, Pokemon. Like,
my son just started playing that, and I like Pokemon Unite. But yeah, you're right. There's 3.
Like,
you're right.
Like you get your success from like being the person that first translates an idea to a console that it's not on, because there was all those Minecraft ones back on the 360. Like, I'm not saying there isn't potential there, but like when you're going after literally the market that's already eating a steak, you don't walk in and go, I try mine.
Right.
Restaurants don't operate like that. Why does video games?
It's still wild to me that Sony allowed like Concord to go on for 8 years when it is very clear that they saw Overwatch and were like, we need to do that.
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like, why didn't we step in and be like, you know what? We're just going to pivot.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should probably pivot this game because, like, Overwatch was so big that it kind of just killed everything that tried to be it. And, like, everything that's chased it since then. I'm not sitting here telling you Overwatch is, like, it's my vice. I know that. But, like, it did something to that genre that like Diablo did to action RPGs, that World of Warcraft did to MMOs, that fucking Fortnite did to battle royales. Like it kind of killed it.
As much as I say it was just a TF2 clone, it took the concept of TF2 and then expanded that idea through characters.
Yes.
Well, because TF2, as much as you can say, well, it's like TF1, Team Fortress 1. Team Fortress 1 had the same issue you were talking about with Concord, where the characters looked similar, and they don't in TF2. The silhouettes of every character are very different. But then they started adding items that changed stuff, and Overwatch did something smart and went with character-based changes. So you know what every character is capable of. Now, with their updating, I don't love that, where they change characters sometimes drastically, but it put life into a genre that was going to die with TF2.
Yeah, because nobody had even bothered with it.
There had been some, but like, do you remember Wolfenstein's multiplayer?
I mean, I do, but that's because I was fucking obsessed
Dang,
with.
I don't.
Wolfenstein multiplayer was great.
There
was always the enemy
Return to Castle
territory one.
Wolfenstein, and then the Wolfenstein 2007, 9.
The Activision one. Yeah.
That might be the one that I played, because whichever one, they were like super impressed with like the flamethrower effects, like it was super realistic, or it was like a huge big deal. Like that's the Wolfenstein one that I played.
Yeah, we were big Xbox Live junkies, so everything that came out, we played. We played that. We played Ghost Recon. We played that fucking Dead Man's Hand, the Western one. Like we played all that shit.
Wow.
Did you play the Darkness?
I remember that.
What's that?
Did you play the Darkness?
Yes, we did.
Oh, I love that. Those games are awesome. I
have
the
multiplayer. The multiplayer of the Darkness was not so great.
No,
you know what? I'll tell you one that was shockingly good was BioShock.
BioShock.
Never played it, but I've heard
2?
it was amazing.
Yeah, BioShock 2's multiplayer was super fun.
I heard that was like the best thing out of, because I heard it wasn't all that, but the multiplayer was really good.
Yeah, we played a lot of the BioShock 2 multiplayer. That was a lot of fun. Remember when Batman had a multiplayer mode? Yeah.
I played that.
It was bad.
Batman and Robin, I think you were.
No, this was Arkham Origins, which had like wasn't it the Thug? Like one person was Batman. Cause I don't remember. Fuck. It wasn't Batman and Robin.
Maybe it was that. I thought there was a Batman and Robin mode, like where
Robin wasn't even in Arkham Origins. So.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He wasn't. Okay. Yeah, because I think, was it Bane that was the multiplayer opponent in Arkham Origins?
I thought it was just like thugs, and then you fought like a boss. Hell, I don't remember. It was so bad, I just blew it out of my mind.
It was bad.
Assassin's Creed had a somewhat interesting multiplayer.
Oh yeah, where everybody's trying to hunt other people. Yeah.
Yep, and you had to like blend in and stuff. Like they kind of like improved upon it, and then they like abandoned it. Like
we got past that. Everything has to have multiplayer shit. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, what else? What else you got?
I think that's it for real. Like because a lot of the stuff I play, I can't.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like there's a lot of shit coming out, and there's gonna be a lot of episodes where we're like, well, I can't tell you about that. So
yeah, I think that's it for me. Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's run through this week, because boy, it's that week where we go, holy shit, it's about to get real. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, we got Age of Mythology Retold, Core Keeper, Crypt Custodian, Dead by Daylight, Castlevania, speaking of games that should just be the only one, Risk of Rain 2, Seekers of the Storm, another game that's quietly a monster, Smite 2 is out this week.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I love Smite.
Star Wars Outlaws Gold Edition, Early Access, Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, Soko Penguin, Akimbot, Forklift Simulator, Gory Cuddly Carnage, which I'm interested to check out the final version of that game. It's interesting. Monster Jam Showdown, not for broadcast, The Time Loop, Pinball FX, Goat Simulator, and Pinball FX The Princess Bride, Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, Visions of Mana, Raging Loop, and Star Wars Outlaws for everybody who doesn't want to pay a ridiculous price.
Sign up for that Ubisoft Plus. I got mine. I signed up for it, and I got my little Star Wars installed.
PlayStation 5, like you said, Gundam Breaker 4, Leo the Firefighter Cat, Vampire Survivors. Boy, they picked a bad week to come out. Like they probably should have done another. Not that it matters. That game is the GOAT, but you know what I mean. Wild Spring R, Outer Wilds Archaeologist Edition, and Euphoria: The Saga 2, which I think that's the Sunsoft game. I think.
Yes, and it's I think scored by. Is it Gimmick 2 or Euphoria 2? No, it's Gimmick 2 that's being scored by Dave Wise.
Yes. The first Euphoria was really good. That was a fun game. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, nothing big here. We got Operation Polygon Storm. And then that's it. A lot of the other stuff, obviously, is coming to those consoles as well. But a lot of the big ones are not. Like Star Wars is not. So, then the Nintendo Switch, which will probably have the quietest week, but unless there's like a Nintendo game I forgot about. Let's see. We got Shadowblade, Night Symphony, Quack.
There's 2 big releases.
Okay, we'll get. Oh, I already see one. I know exactly which one you're referring to. Xuanwan Sword, Mists Beyond the Mountains. Kamitsubaki City Ensemble, Bubble Blaster DX, Can of Wormholes, Depth of Sanity, Dice Make 10, Egg Console Xanadu Scenario 2 PC 8801 MK2 SR. Say that 3 times fast.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yep. Here's the first one Anthony was referring to, MEO The Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club.
Correct.
Koi Koi Japan, Marble Abduction Paddy Hatu, MFC Midnight Fight Club, Ninja 1 and 2, Perfect Rescue, The Backroom Survival, Volfaris, Mechatherion, Voltaire the Vegan Vampire. What the fuck? Oh shit! Bed Rotting, Date Z, Forests, Fields, and Fortresses, Island Survival, Craft, Build, Grow.
Okay, so this is my nightmare game. Voltaire, the vegan vampire.
Yeah, what?
Rebel against your legacy in this farming action roguelike.
Oh.
Farming
rogue. Oh, okay, we're doing too much.
Roguelite.
We're doing a lot now.
Kamikaze Last Planes. Survivor Heroes, the Doink Soft collection. I'm not familiar with Doink Soft. At least I don't think I am. U-Boat Attack.
Hold on, Doink Soft. Yes, you do know something from them. Give me a second.
I probably do. I just
Gato Roboto.
Ah, okay.
Gunbrella.
Yes, I know what these are.
And Demon Throttle.
Okay, I didn't play Demon Throttle, but I played the other 2. Yuma Musume. I can't say it. Pretty Derby Party Dash. That's the subtitle to whatever Yuma Musume. I'm sorry. Every time I say it, it's like I have a stroke in the side of my mouth. I can't say it.
Can you say it one more time?
No.
Okay.
Fruit Attack and Ruthless Carnage Hotline. What was the other big game?
Visions is coming to Switch too.
I don't see it on this list.
It's supposed to be coming to Switch. Give me a second.
I was gonna say I don't.
Maybe.
What you said? Visions? What is that?
Visions of Mana.
Oh,
it's coming to Switch.
No,
I'm wrong.
I think it's
you know what? Sorry, it's coming to
PS5.
PS4.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I already mentioned Visions of Mana. So
No, I thought it was coming to Switch too because the last one did.
Ah, I got you. No.
So I was like, oh, if it's coming to PS4, it was coming to Switch as well.
Is this like one of the first games coming to Xbox but not Switch? That's wild.
It looks really good. Yeah. I think they did a lot of.
Well, Jace just sent me his review, but I can't say anything about it on the show because the embargo's Tuesday. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I plan. That's one I'm going to pick up. Probably.
So if I were to if I were to use something like this, and then like say I gave a game, that'd be 5 out of a potential
5
10.
quacks.
Do you want to just hit that button a couple times?
You want me to just wait until like the show's over and then I can just fucking tell you?
5 quacks out of 10.
I thought it was a funnier way of getting around. Ken, I thought you'd play along.
Well, I don't have my soundboard up, and I don't have the review up either. It's in my inbox.
Oh, well then, never mind.
It's not like I'm just staring at it like, ooh, look at this. Like, you guys can't see what I see. Ha, 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 ha.
I wouldn't put it past you, honestly.
I mean, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's do the news. Boy, it was a big news.
Hold on now. I looked up Kamikaze Last Planes.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord.
What do you think it is?
I thought it was a shmup.
I was gonna say, if I had to guess, I would guess like a simulator of planes.
How is Lass plane spelled?
LASS.
Yeah, why don't you put a space in between?
Oh, it's a horny game. Okay.
It is a horny game.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know
Fly
that.
and fall for powerful Lass planes. Discover a handcrafted anime visual novel with story-driven arcade shoot-'em-up gameplay. Take part in a romantic story with drama and comedic elements set in a steampunk kingdom. Okay, sorry, it's weird because it's steampunk, but then kingdom's capitalized for some reason. Filled with magic and torn by a brutal war. Decide the fate of your country and heart.
Oh, my country. My heart. Let's do news. It was Gamescom's week, boys. Let's start with Xbox. Towerborn launches as a free-to-play title after its early access period, which, by the way, starts on Steam.
Yep. It's
the first-party Xbox. This is Rake number 1.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there are multiple Rakes. Microsoft confirmed that it could be up to 12 months until some day one games come to Game Pass standard, but that varies by title. Rake number 2. Since August 22nd, NVIDIA will let you link your Xbox account to GeForce Now. This new feature joins Xbox Game Library Sync on GeForce Now, which allows members to sync their supported Xbox Game Pass and Microsoft Store games to their cloud streaming library. That's cool. That's a cool thing. New Game Pass games include Atlas Fallen, Core Keeper, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Early Access Open Beta, and Star Trekker. Where are the Game Pass games? What is this, like 7 games for the month of fucking August?
Yes, it does appear that way.
I'm
hyped for Star Trekker, but yeah.
Like, but like at this point, like we're not getting anything, which is crazy.
No.
God damn it! I fucking knew it. I was like, not only is it a horny game, it's a goddamn horny game where the girls turn into goddamn airplanes.
Here we go. He's still on this game.
You know what bothered me is I'm like, wait a second, because it didn't just outright say that in the Steam store, and I'm like, but I had the feeling that was what was going to be the fucked up thing about it. I was correct. God damn it. Stop making visual novels about fucking everything.
I mean, that's what people like to do. What was it? Like, I saw that stat the other day on Baldur's Gate 3 about the bear.
Stop fucking the bear. God damn,
wow.
Stop fucking the bear. God
what was it, like 80% of people fucked him as the bear?
No, but it's not a bear. It's actually a fucking druid.
Yeah, but the point was, is like the stat showed that like most people fucked him as the bear.
Yeah, most people are wild, I think is what that's proving. Because wow.
Game Pass core titles include City Skylines, Control Ultimate Edition, and SnowRunner. Microsoft bought the cockpit of a rare plane from a Swiss collector and gifted it to the Berlin Museum as a thank you for allowing them to scan the plane for Flight Simulator. It's a cool gesture.
That's...
Man.
Yeah, I like any story where rich companies work to actually preserve things.
Yeah.
How about preserving your catalog, Xbox?
Hey, that's the one thing they do well. Come on now.
It's not.
They're backwards compatible is better than everybody else.
They're better than everybody else, but I still don't think it's good enough.
No, it's not good enough, but it's better than everybody else.
You don't get high fives for being better than everybody else.
I'm not giving them a high five. I'm just saying that, like, at least there's something. Xbox announced the Xbox Adaptive Joystick. You can create the thumbstick toppers on Design Labs. Launches 2025.
They're still the best. It's sad that they're still the best for disability hardware, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, like Nintendo's just like, fuck you.
Accessibility hardware, that's the better term.
Yeah, like Sony actually did one. Nintendo's just like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer said that they have learned from the first 4 games that they put on other platforms. They run a business, and player numbers on Xbox are higher than ever. Industry is under pressure, and it will be a change for all of us. Come on, Phil. What are you doing?
I saw that. That was the Gamescom interview,
When they
wasn't
asked
it?
him about Indiana Jones, which that's another news story, is Indiana Jones is coming to the PlayStation 5.
Yeah. That was just such CEO speak
Oh,
that
yeah.
he put out there. I listen, for me, I don't care. I think
I don't
Indiana
give a
Jones
fuck.
being
No,
in more
whatever.
places is great. Like, that's not gonna stop my motion. Like, I'm still gonna play it. You know what I mean? So everybody else being able to experience it, that's fantastic. This is a company. They in it to make money, and they know if they put it on other platforms, that's money in their pocket. Plus, those platforms got to pay because they can't get Game Pass. So,
I saw
good
the
for them.
Xbox people like so much cope this week. They were like, well, we get it early. We get it on Game Pass. Oh. And then the PlayStation guys are like, well, you guys get to beta test this for us. I was like, it'll still be the same game when it comes out. Like, what are you doing?
Like, y'all are tripping. Like, just play the game and
Yeah,
have fun.
just enjoy the game because it's probably going to be pretty. Machine Games, they're pretty good. Just saying.
Yeah. You know what? And I was reading something. I didn't read the whole article, but they were saying somebody that got to play it, or I think they might have had a hands-off demo, but they were saying it was giving Chronicles of Riddick vibes because a lot of the Starbreeze.
Yeah, it's the same guys. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are Machine Games now. So yeah, and that game is fantastic. So yeah, bring on Indiana Jones. Like,
they also did the Darkness.
Yes, they did. You're right. Forgot about that. So yeah, I don't know. People are weird. Man.
Everybody's weird about this shit.
Yeah,
I'm because I've been negative about Xbox recently. I'm only negative because they don't have their own stuff to present, right? Like, this is a third party IP. It's similar, like if Sony's only game in a year was Spider-Man.
I see what you're saying.
But it's like, it's just, so not only are Xbox fans waiting for a game that, you actually put promotion into and is good, and then it's like, actually the other people are getting it too. It's like, well, why did I buy your console? And you can say Game Pass, but it's just one of those things where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment. I understand the concern about people with the concern that Xbox hardware is going to go away with their libraries they've invested. I understand these things, but at the same time, I'm like, motherfucker, if you a gamer, you should probably just buy, like, you can buy whatever you want. Like,
exactly.
If you want,
I don't think that like Indiana Jones is the end of the world. I'm just saying, like, if the rest of their output was better. I wish Spider-Man was playable on Xbox.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? That way it doesn't push. That way everybody can have fun with Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is a bigger franchise than the consoles.
Oh, 100%. Yep. Like, that thing would do an easy 5 to 6 million more on Xbox just because of people who don't have a PlayStation. Like, it ain't gonna be a ton, but,
And you know what else? We may see that stuff, at some point. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, just because PlayStation has so many numbers. But with the cost of everything, they're going to have no choice.
They still didn't make money off of Spider-Man because of how much it fucking cost.
And it's the reason why I was like pro the MLB stuff, because there is no alternative to the show.
Right.
Right? Like, yes, there were other MLB games, but they're not good.
Yeah, there was.
What was it called, Ken? MLB.
Which one?
MLB had the one game that would be on every console, and then
it was just called MLB.
No, I thought it had another name.
No, it was just literally called MLB, whatever the year was. It's like MLB 14, 15, 16. Yeah, that's what it was. It was terrible. It was an awful game.
But yeah, so like I'm pro like that type of stuff, because again, those brands are bigger than the consoles, and they're not a brand built on the console either.
No. Hide and seek mode's coming to Forza Horizon 5. Okay. Speaking of hardware, Microsoft announced 3 new consoles. Release dates, I think, are October 29th or October 15th, depending on which region you're in. You've got the Xbox Series S 1 terabyte in Robot White. You've got the Xbox Series X 1 terabyte digital edition in Robot White, and Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition, which that motherfucker is $600.
In Robot White. It wasn't Robot White. But yeah, I saw it was $600. And I was like, ha, fuck you. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
$100 extra for an extra terabyte of space.
RBI.
Right.
RBI was what I was thinking.
Oh, is it called RBI? I thought it was just called
RBI
RBI
baseball.
Okay.
I remember RBI baseball.
Well, these new ones are not good. Those old NES ones, those were fun, but these new ones, they were terrible. And then the last piece of Xbox news, I think, is Avowed could be locked at 30 frames per second. Obsidian said their baseline is 30 FPS, and in a first-person single-player game, you don't necessarily need 60 frame. Motherfucker.
Why do they always say that? Gotham Knights said that. Like, the Redfall people said that to start off. Like, why is that what they always say?
I don't know. Like, here's my suggestion.
Starfield.
Stop using Unreal 5.
There you go. There you go.
Like, just stop it.
Everybody's chasing this visual fidelity, and nigga, if I want to see real life, I'll go outside. I'm trying to play a game.
I want you to tell me what the best-selling games are, and I want you to give me their fidelity. That's what I want you to do.
Looking at you, Vampire Survivors.
Yeah. Yeah. Vampire Survivors, what was Pow World sold a fuck ton? That game ain't exactly like a looker.
No. Like, it doesn't have to. Like, those anomalies and that stuff that looks really good, like Black Myth Wukong is tearing up the charts. Like, that stuff is cool, but like, man, we don't have to chase it for every single
Hellblade 2 might be the best looking video game I've ever played. That game did not sell.
Wonder if maybe I should start telling them something. They should see some sort of correlation here. I don't know.
You would think.
La 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 la. Hero shooter, la 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 la. Chasing trends, la 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 la.
That's about how it goes.
Sony announced the Mina Hero Project incubator program to support local developers in Middle East and North Africa. That's cool.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, PS5 stock is selling out in China because of Black Myth Wukong.
It's wild. That's good for them. I think it's his Game Science's, first new game, and the Xbox version is still coming. It's just delayed because Xbox likes stepping on rakes. But I want to play it at some point. I don't really have $70 to drop.
Yeah, I don't have $70 to drop, and they didn't send a review code. They didn't send any review codes out for PS5. So,
which is wild too, because I guess it runs fine. I don't know if, like, I've seen a couple of people streaming it on PS5, and they were talking about they hadn't had any real issues or whatever. So I wonder why they were so closed with the PlayStation code.
I have no clue, to be honest with you. And their email about the PC codes was really fucking kind of rude. Which whatever.
Yeah.
Is that the one that told you all the things you couldn't talk about?
Yes, that's the same game, but that was only to certain streamers.
Oh, yeah. So what was that was the one where they said we don't have codes. Do not contact us.
Yeah, right. Don't send us. Don't ask us. Don't talk to us. Like, well,
if you see us in the street, keep walking.
Yeah, like, motherfucker, you are PR. Do you know what PR stands for?
Right, it's in the name, man.
Like, if I wanted to contact you, I will. Just saying.
And all these people blowing this game, like, the numbers, if I went and asked, like, the guy I work with who casually plays video games, he won't know this game.
No, the numbers are huge because it's blown up in China, and that's awesome. China. Yeah.
Yep.
But like, part of that is also because it's Chinese made.
Yeah, and it's based on a Chinese mythology. Like
that too, yes.
All of this stuff is like, it's like lightning in a bottle, and that's awesome.
I mean, like, I say that because, like, the Chinese market is nowhere near as large in terms of the games that they get released, right? Like, they don't get every AAA game we have.
No, they don't.
And I'm not saying this isn't worth the praise or anything like that. It's just one of those things where it's like the numbers are going to be a bit skewed for certain reasons, including that it's a AAA game made in China, based on Chinese mythology, and is, like, I'm pretty sure all voiced in Chinese as well.
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Mandarin or Cantonese, but
yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it. I want to play it. Like, maybe at this point I'll just wait for the Xbox version. I don't know.
I think I'm probably just going to wait for that because I mean, there's so much other stuff, right? Like I'll probably wait for the Xbox version.
Death Stranding 2 is getting a special stage at Tokyo Game Show.
Forgot about that. I need to finish the first one, man.
Oh, it's so good. Nintendo Museum opens on October 2nd, which is really cool, but I'll never see it.
Where is it in Japan?
Yes, of course it's in Japan.
You should go. Me and Amanda were
Yeah, like
Japan.
I'll just pick up and load the car up and drive across the ocean and go hang out in Japan.
Okay, well, it doesn't quite work like that, asshole. I mean, God, get the plane tickets.
No, Terrence, don't talk him out of it. Yeah, Ken, go ahead and drive across the ocean.
Yeah, go ahead. Get in the car.
If I did it, Anthony, I think you'd feel bad.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you did it after I said it, I'd feel bad for a moment, and then I think of how stupid you were fucking listening to me.
Right. Like, why would he do that?
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp in service on November 28th. A new version is in development. More details in October.
Oh, that the mobile version?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad that they're making like a permanent version.
Yeah, that's cool for the people that have invested. That's nice.
Nintendo's doing another Lego set for Lego Mario Kart. Be out January of 2025.
God damn it, they just won't give us minifigs of Mario characters.
Nope.
Because too many people want to fuck them.
Whoa, that took a
that
took a turn.
Hold on, what the fuck was that?
It was funny, is what it was.
It really was.
Oh shit. No, we were just talking about how like everything needs to be fuckable. Like, well,
well, that's because it needs to be it needs to be presented in like a visual novel, romance game. Thing.
No, it doesn't.
Dating sim. That's
no, it really doesn't.
Oh, God,
Lego dating
Mario
sim.
dating sim. Oh,
I think our pieces would fit perfectly together.
Oh, I bet they
would.
Oh
God.
My piece was made for your slot.
Oh God, I'm stuck. Get the remover tool.
We're gonna move on. Let's see.
You started this. Don't you fucking run away.
Hey, I want you to know that the King of Meat is coming.
Wow. Okay.
That's literally a line in this news. The King of Meat is coming.
Is that a threat?
Right.
You don't know. What else is coming out soon? Final Fantasy 16 coming to PC on September 17th. Resident Evil 2 is coming to GOG on August 27th. Dune Awakening launches early 2025 for PC. Consoles are later. Goat Simulator is getting a remaster. It's also coming to Game Pass on day one. We are really in hell at this point if Goat Simulator is getting a remaster.
I keep saying we can stop. Like, not everything needs a remaster. Like, I get it, but Jesus, y'all, come on.
Path of Exile 2 launches November 15th in early access. Revenge of the Savage Planet launches in 2025. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred launches October 8th. Sniper Elite Resistance coming 2025, also on Game Pass day one. Fatal Fury launches April 24th on everything except Switch. Starfield Rev 8 update is out now. Shattered Space launches September 30th. Masters of Albion was announced for PC and console. And what the fuck, Peter Molyneux? What the fuck?
Go away. Tell someone needs to tell him just to go away. Go away, you bald fuck.
Dave the Diver.
Hey, hold on. Peter, if you're listening, go fuck yourself.
I just don't understand why. Because he said, like, this is set in the Fable world, right?
No, he's saying it's set in Albion because technically you can't trademark that, motherfucker. He's clinging to like the buoy from a fucking ship.
Is the main character's name Milo?
It might be.
Dave the Diver's getting more collaborations, this time with Balatro, Potioncraft, and MXM Tune. Little Nightmares 3 launches in 2025. Civilization 7 launches on February 11th. There's a new Dying Light called The Beast. It's a standalone game. Be out I don't know when. They didn't put a date on that one. Borderlands 4 was announced. That was literally the response.
I mean, yeah. Like I saw it was just like a trailer.
You can't bury the movie, Randy.
And that's really what he was trying to do for real. Like
Bitch, I'm gonna hold you to it. This is a piece of shit. Well, it just means the games are better. No.
Reanimal was announced for everything.
I don't need to see it. They got my money. It's Tarsier. I'll figure out a way to play it.
I was going to say it's only on Xbox Series XS, PS5, and PC.
I'll figure out a way.
Genshin Impact is finally coming to Xbox on November 20th. And then they announced a new Mafia called The Old Country, launches in 2025.
I don't know if I care. I kind of liked how Mafia was moving forward. I was hoping we'd get like a new take on the world of Grand Theft Auto 3 almost. That time period, 2000s. But
all right. I'm going to need to take a break. So I need y'all either to vamp or we're going to have to stop the show for a second.
You can pause it. That's fine.
Okay.
pause it, yeah.
Give me a second. All right. So it's like we never left. That's the amazing thing of technology. Indiana Jones.
It's actually been 17 hours recording a different day.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's how that works. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle got a release date December 9th on Xbox Series and PC. Also coming to Game Pass, coming to PS5 in spring of 2025. Train Sim World 5 launches September 17th. Atari 7800 Plus launches winter 2024. What else we got? Lost in Random was announced. The Eternal Die coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Also Game Pass Day 1.
Is that a sequel?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Choeniki Collection is coming to December 12th in Japan.
For those who want buff men shooting each other.
Dude, I love Choeniki. Those games are fun.
I do. Those games are batshit crazy.
I don't even think I know what that is.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna
look it up, but that's fine. Go ahead.
No, give me a second. I'm gonna show you something. I'm just gonna put this in the chat. This is the news thing that I read from, but I just want you to see that. Tokyo Extreme Racer is returning in 2025 for PC.
Wow.
Yeah, the Jackbox Naughty Pack is coming September 12th.
Bruh.
They spelled it that way, so...
Yeah, they did that on purpose.
Yeah. What else we got here? Holy shit. Mars Attracts is a theme park based on the 96 Mars Attacks movie, coming to PC in 2025.
Now what are they going to call their inevitable
sequel?
Dating sim.
Dating sim. Yes.
That's a good question.
That's what I thought it was when I read the title, and I went, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I clicked on it, I'm like, oh, attractions. Okay, gotcha.
Squirrel with a Gun launches October 15th.
I'm actually interested in that.
I'm bet curious.
You are.
Squirrel with a gun.
Well, what was that? Was that an insult? What was that? Was it a joke?
I mean, leave it up to interpretation.
Oh, okay.
We got some delays. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, was delayed to an unspecified date. Hyperlight Breaker was delayed to 2025. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been delayed again to the first half of 2025.
Just cancel that game, please,
Jesus,
God.
Just cancel it, man.
Tales of Iron 2 Whiskers of Winter has been delayed to 2025. That's a great name. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the game where it's pretty brutal rat fight simulator thing.
Yeah, because I reviewed the first one.
Swords and shields, but
basically Game of Thrones with rats.
Yeah, and it plays like a roguelite, like a Souls game. So
of course
you die and drop stuff and all that, but yeah, it's pretty brutal, but it's side scrolling. I'm interested because Geralt narrates the main character.
Final Fantasy 16 game director Hiroshi Takai says he would love to see an Xbox port. Quote, we're taking one thing at a time right now, so I can't reveal anything about our future plans. All I can say, it's something I would personally like to happen. Other translation, come on, Phil, write that check.
Exactly.
I'd almost guarantee you there's a version of that game floating around that they're just waiting to announce. Be my guess. Apparently they can confirm that the co-publisher Hero Games for Black Myth Wukong sent out the do's and don'ts recommendations to at least 2 content creators, which the don'ts include stuff like feminist propaganda.
I saw that, and that was really funny. I'm like, wow, we got to send out do's and don'ts now?
Don't talk about women.
They said, like, don't make it political. How do you put politics into
a game about the Monkey
Wukong?
King? Like,
what how the fuck do you do that?
I'm pretty sure that's the reason why that one review... I feel like that went over people's heads. I'm pretty sure that's why that one review wrote a big thing about
the diversity and stuff.
Diversity was because they specifically were told not to. Like, go fuck yourself.
I didn't think about that. You're probably right. That probably is exactly what that was.
But also, what kind of diversity did you want in a game about monkey people and horse people? And
that's the reason why I have to assume that was a big fuck you post.
Yeah,
because if it was serious, we have other discussions.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, I was kind of, yeah, okay.
Like at some point, like that's the problem, Anthony, with this world right now is I don't know if it was real or fake.
I think that's
the world we live in.
That's Poe's law, I think. Give me a second.
Like I just feel like if I have to question it.
Poe's law is an adage of internet culture which says that without a clear indicator of the author's intent, any parody or sarcastic expression of extreme views can be mistaken by some readers for sincere expression of those views.
Okay.
Poe's law.
Wow.
IGN asked Capcom if they have more plans for Dead Rising in the future. Capcom would like to continue to bring back many of its IPs, Mega Man, in hopes of expanding upon the Dead Rising series in the future.
When Mr. Krabs was asked why he does it, he said, money. Come
that is what he said.
Get the fuck out of here. Would you like to, Capcom, would you like to make money with an IP that you already own? Yes. All right, well, thanks.
According to reports from Gamescom, Monster Hunter Wilds runs at 30 frames per second on PS5 and has a hard time achieving that.
Yeah, the thing I read, the person that played the demo said that it was pretty rough. Like they said they had a good time playing it, but yeah, they said it was pretty rough.
That's the world we're in. This whole 60 frames per second thing you've gotten used to in the last 4 years, it's going away because not everything's made for the PS4 anymore.
That sucks.
Wait, sorry. I thought you said it wasn't hitting 30 on PS5.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's still early, right?
Yeah,
you said not everything's made for the PS4 anymore.
But that's what I said. You can't keep thinking you're going to get 60 frames per second because games are not made for the PS4 anymore.
Because they're trying for the upper. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Right.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I don't understand that concept. Like it's never going to look perfect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter how good you are, it's not going to look... I'd rather you make a good game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't need the photorealism. Like, you don't need all of that. Like, just make the game good.
Yeah, at this point, like, your target should be 60 frames per second and just make it look as good as you can.
Exactly. Like, that's it.
There's plenty of amazing looking games that run at 60 frames a second. Horizon... Cyberpunk, like, come on, people. The Borderlands movie is coming to digital platforms on August 30th. That might have been the quickest turnaround I've ever seen in my life.
Damn. What's that, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
3 weeks?
Two weeks, I think. Yep.
Yeah, that was quick.
Universal Pictures picked up the rights to adapt Ruiner? Dude, that's one game nobody remembers.
Cyberpunk shooter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I vaguely remember it.
What studio?
Universal Pictures.
They're gonna turn.
Are they that desperate? Okay.
Dude, I don't know. Speaking of, I don't think we talked about the secret level thing, did we?
What was the secret level?
That was the guys from Blur making the Amazon Prime.
Oh, the show. No, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, it wasn't in the news.
It's got fucking Mega Man in it.
Yep. It also has Concord. Because go fucking figure.
Concord got its own episode, dude.
You know what? I bet that episode, it probably is going to be the same one that it drops in the game. I bet it coincides for that week.
I bet you it doesn't increase player count.
Oh, I'm certain it won't.
I bet that ends up being a stain on the series as Concord's legacy.
Damn. I mean, it might be. It very well. I care less about that. But there's some other stuff on there that I definitely want to see because I saw Kratos, PlayStation, which is weird that PlayStation Studios has its own thing in there, I guess episode or whatever. But then Concord has its own one too. What?
Yeah, that's yeah. There's an Armored Core one too.
I saw that. Keanu Reeves is in the Armored Core one.
Yeah, I just here for the Mega Man one. Let's fucking go. Super fighting robot, Meg Man. The Backyard Sports series is getting a relaunch in the coming months. Gothic 3 Classic got rated, and Head Up establishes a new studio called Goon Squad. That might not have been the best name.
Right. Okay.
What else? Yeah, Black Myth sold 10 million copies, which is crazy. Infinite Nikki surpassed 12 million registered. When they showed that trailer, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But apparently, 12 million people want to play it. I don't know.
What? I don't even know what. That was the one that just had the singing and the girl, and there was clothes.
The little monsters
stuff.
Things.
Yeah, little monsters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what.
Apparently, it's huge, dude. If it's got 12 million pre-registrations, Jesus Christ.
Yep. All right.
And of course,
how much did Wukong sell?
10 million in 3 days. Dude, that's Luigi's Mansion 3 numbers, brother. That's wild.
That is wild. I'm saying, I'm happy for them. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I
want to play it. I want to play it. I've heard it's not like a Souls game, so I want to play it. But
I don't know if I did the math right, but there's 1.412 blah 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 billion people in China, and 10 million copies sold. I think that's 1 in 141. One for every 141 people.
I mean, some of it's in America. There's probably 1 million or 2 in America.
Sure. But that's just kind of crazy. Even then, 8. That's still a huge population.
Oh yeah, people in China were really excited for this game. Apparently, that's really cool. According to Windows Central, Sea of Thieves has sold over 1 million copies just on PlayStation, and you wonder why they're bringing more games over.
Exactly. That's just they leaving money on the table. Why not put it over there?
Deadlock is out there now. People can play it. It's that game that dude got in trouble for.
Yeah, which is wild. I watched the stream last night because it's I guess they relaxed the stuff. You can still have to register, however, to get in, but people can stream it and stuff. I'm cool. It just looked like a third person shooter. The little mini map was hella lanes and all kinds of different, and I'm nah, I'm too old for all of that. It's doing a lot.
Speaking of Valve, though, there's a Half-Life 3 rumors cropping up again.
Yeah, whatever.
That it's real and it features a semi-open world with a day and night life cycle, smart NPCs.
I'm sure.
This might be credible though, because this actually is, because I read this as well, which is funny because it kind of ties into the Deadlock stuff. Because it was put out by a dude that works on the Deadlock game. He was a moderator in the Discord or something like that for Deadlock, and they ended up getting recruited by Valve or whatever to help do something on the game. I was reading the stuff about him, and then he put this out, so he might be fired come fucking tomorrow because he just put that out there about the Half-Life stuff. But yeah, it might be legit. I know. Again, I haven't played Half-Life 1, so I'm not invested.
But Valve has already already said is that they have made Half-Life 3 multiple times.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they always come to the point where they go, it's not what it should be.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
so to me, it's like, until it's actually out, like, that's one thing that Valve has always kind of been honest on, that they work on stuff and then don't release it.
There is a new documentary out on Toys for Bob, Crash, and Spyro. That Crash Bandicoot 5, which was a Spyro crossover, was actually canceled. So it was in development at Toys for Bob and then canceled.
Well, damn.
Yeah, that sucks. And I think that's it for the news.
What would it have played like?
Crash 4?
Okay.
Was that good? I didn't play that one. I'm waiting for it to come on Game Pass.
It's good.
That's all they put.
It's good. I mean, it's just Crash. Like, if you're cool with Crash, then you'll like that.
Gotcha.
All right, let's do some emails, some tweets, and then let's wrap up this Ninja Gaiden Sigmund.
God damn it.
Peter writes in and says a few show notes that he agrees with me that the Mega Man 2 OST is the best. Goddamn right. Also, the Mickey Mouse voice was comedy gold.
I forgot about that.
Or was it the Mickey Mouse voice, or was it your fucking I want candy?
I think it was that. You talk about that thing on this.
The beginning.
Yeah. Like that shit was funny. He also can't wait to hear our reactions to the Nintendo Museum they're opening up in Kyoto. I think it's awesome, but at the same time, I'm also pissed because I'll never see it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's kind of where my feelings come from.
Wow. I want to go to Japan. I don't know about y'all. Maybe I
never said
rich.
I didn't want to go.
Y'all.
I just said the logistics of the pricing with the fucking inflation over here already. Fuck, I can't.
That's true. We'll have to talk to Ryan, see if maybe he'll let us borrow his jet.
Yeah, we'll have to get some.
Stingy sometimes.
We'll have to get some fucking passports so we can head over to the.
Oh yeah, that too. I don't even have a passport. That's right. I need to get a passport.
We can't even get into Canada without a passport anymore.
Yep.
So, you get your passport, man. Daryl writes in, says, hello, oh wow, I got 2 really long-ass emails, so you're going to have to hang with me here. Just wanted to say, you are my first go-to podcast each week. Well, thank you. And then listen to a few...
Sorry.
And then listen to a few other big hitters like Giant Bomb, Mid-Max, Game Informer. Oh, never mind. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Anthony, for recommending Stone Age Gamer podcast. It's added to my playlist now, pretty low-key, talking about day-to-day stuff in games, pretty much what you guys do, so thanks. Sucks Game Informer is dead. I started getting the magazine from Funko Land in the 90s and had multiple subscriptions up until 2018 or so. GameStop sucks, and curse the stock buyers who kept them alive.
Man.
Yeah. The 90s and early 2000s were great for magazines. EGM, Game Fan, the official Dreamcast magazine, PSM, OPSM, Xbox magazine, GamePro, Gamers Republic, PC Gamer, Accelerator. So many. Man, we had it good back then.
I was about to say, I didn't even realize that. Like, you were naming them off. I'm like, I had those. Yep, I read that one. Damn, yep. I had a subscription. Like, man.
I still have tons in bins and am going through them, actually sorting by title. I never did that in the past, so I'm paying for it now. I used to have a lot of the early EGMs, but got rid of them when I got married in 1995. Yes, I was stupid. About throwing them away or getting married. Come on now, man. So I recently went to Home Depot and bought a bunch of rakes and had them and shipped them to Microsoft since they step on them so often and will likely need more.
Right.
You all know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. They stepped on at least 12 rakes in this episode alone.
Yeah, Lord.
I bought and installed Black Myth Wukong, 105 gigabytes.
Jesus!
These guys need to ship consoles with bigger hard drives or make expanding them easier. I don't think it's the ease of things that's the problem. It's the price.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
They need to stop chasing realism.
That's why all this is so big. Yeah.
Like, that's the reason why, like, and I get it. It looks really cool. It does. But, like, it causes these games to be so fucking big. And let's be honest, like, it's using all this processing not to make a more interesting game, just a better looking one.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the biggest downside.
And that's the reason why we see less and less of a change from console to console generation. The Super Nintendo is far more powerful than the NES, the N64, the GameCube. The Wii is not, right? And that's not the reason why that console sold. But it's just like, you get to this point where it's like the last time I remember and I've used this example before, is the Middle Earth there, Shadow of Mordor, right? Where the old console couldn't handle the Nemesis system.
Oh, that's right.
Like, why can't we see changes like that for newer games, right? Where, like, the AI is so much better because they're using the processing power of these new consoles. And maybe somebody knows better than I. Maybe their consoles can't do that because they're putting all their effort into, like, a GPU. But I don't know. It's just disappointing that we're not seeing something more interesting coming out of the power. We're just seeing better looking stuff.
He says, I'm not taking apart the PS5 to install a bigger drive. It's really not that hard, truthfully. He says, fuck you, Sony. And fuck Microsoft for not releasing a bigger, cheaper external drive. Yeah, those cards are expensive as shit, man.
Yeah.
I bought a 1 terabyte external drive for something like $180 to $200. That's insane. At least they have an expansion slot. But let me buy 2, 3, 4 They have a 2 terabyte on those cards. But it's like $500. So I'm tired of deleting games constantly, especially since I jump around constantly to different games. Oh, I feel you there. What I did for Xbox was I put like a old ass 8 terabyte platter drive, and then anything that's not X or S, I just dump on there. And then if I want to delete something like an X or S game, you can just move it over there and just leave it there. And it's quicker to move it back than it is to re-download it. So
that's what I've been doing too. Yep, I've been doing the same thing.
Lastly, a few games I've been playing and liking. Just started Black Myth Wukong. Looks great and seems like it will be a great game. Xbox ditched the Series S so companies will port their games, or fuck Sony for making another third-party deal. Honestly, I think this one's on Xbox. I don't think Sony made a deal for this game. No Man's Sky upgraded for free, I believe, to the PS5. Just needed the PS4 disc inserted. Plus, it updates to the new Worlds update. On Xbox, playing more Dragon's Dogma 2. Signy, great shooter, but it is hard. God damn, is it hard. Got Ace Combat 7 on sale, even though I had it on PS4. Got Borderlands 3 for $5.99 on an Xbox sale. Had it on disc, but why not cheap digital? Exactly. You ain't got to put the disc in no more. Also playing SteamWorld Heist 2. Awesome game. Cat Quest 3 on Switch. Both great pirate-themed games. Lastly, got the Doom updates on Switch, Xbox, and Steam Deck. I owned it on all platforms, so I got the updates free and downloaded all the add-ons. Also got the Fields of Mystria, a cool Stardew Valley type game. I just started it, though. Phew, that's it. Take care, Daryl. This man is playing a lot of video games.
So I was listening to Stone Age Gamer, and one of the guys played the Doom remaster on Switch. Apparently you don't have access to a cheats menu like you did in the previous version.
You also don't have access to all the mods, I think, on the Switch version. You don't have access to the ones that aren't curated on Switch.
Yeah, no, yes, true. But do you have that on consoles?
Yes, on Xbox and PlayStation you do.
I think you have access to the same.
I watched the Digital Foundry video, and I think the Switch is limited in what it can mod-wise.
Regardless, the previous versions that were separated from each other, just you could pull up a menu and just select cheats. But in this new version, you actually have to plug in a USB keyboard and put them in manually.
Oh, that's fucked up. Just let me cheat, man. Who can't? Like, I don't understand. Like, cheats are such a weird thing nowadays. Like, just let me cheat. Like, if you want to disable my achievements, I don't give a fuck about achievements. Like, really? Just let me cheat. I don't care. Real Shogun sent us an email because he said this was going to be too long for a tweet. So he says, let's start with me saying I'm not a fanboy, but I do prefer Xbox. I own a PC, PS4, and Xbox Series X. I've racked my brain for a week now, and I can't find a personal issue with putting Xbox games on PlayStation 5. The reason most fanboys give is that this move devalues the Xbox console. Last time I checked, the games are still coming out on the system. Most are launching into Game Pass, and if the system is not selling anymore, the company will be forced to pivot. This is the pivot. The problem is not just Microsoft, it's the fanboys and fake insiders. The mixed messages is real. Phil can't please Xbox fans and Microsoft. The new strategy should be the incredible value of Game Pass, and that's why I'm still subscribed. Not trying to sell anyone on Game Pass, it just saves me money. Distribution is key. Even Netflix had to put its movies in theaters, and at one time sold them on DVD. The walled garden just doesn't work today. In the long run, this will be seen as how the gaming world changed. I hope the next Xbox will be more PC-like, because it will add more benefits than issues. The community is just reluctant to change. Now, I'm going to stop there for a second, and I agree with this. I think I understand the whole old model of like, give me a reason to buy your machine. But I feel like we're kind of moving past that to where like the games are going to be everywhere. Just pick the ecosystem that works best for you.
Right.
Like, is it really worth like losing out on money? Because these businesses are about money. And if you put your games everywhere, then you're going to make the money. Like, PC's already getting them, so I don't understand Sony's like reluctance to put them anywhere else, because the games are not just available on PlayStation, they're available on PC.
Windows PCs.
Yes.
Right.
Which is crazy, right? Like, that's still... Like, Death Stranding is in the Xbox store.
Yep.
It's just for PC.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Microsoft is making money off of Death Stranding. It's just weird. It's like... And honestly, the only people who care are fanboys.
That's it.
Like, nobody else cares. Like, all of us... Like, Anthony doesn't care if Spider-Man goes to Xbox. I mean, it'll never happen.
But Bakaru was originally on Nintendo only, and with it coming over here, it's now Nintendo and PC. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Like, I don't care. Like, I wouldn't care if Nintendo put Mario on the PlayStation. It'll never happen, but like, I wouldn't care. Like, I would just play it wherever it played the best or whatever I chose to play it on. Like, Nintendo still gets money. Like, we argued for years that consoles don't make money, the games make the money. Then who gives a shit where you're playing the game? Like, if you're not making money off consoles, it's just a achievement, for lack of a better word. I sold more than you. Like, you're not making money off the hardware. So why do you care if you sold 10 million more than the other guy? I don't know. Business-wise, it just doesn't make sense to me. Imagine not having to worry about games being delisted, but you can download a ROM from any site and install it on your system, and that's the best option for preservation. I mean, that's the best option for preservation now, anyway. Like, I don't know if you've looked at the retro market lately.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that with people on Threads, and I said I'm kind of lucky that I already had everything I wanted, because everything's too fucking like just the prices on some things. I'm like, I paid $25 for it, and they're like $70. That terrible Godzilla game on PS4 is like $300.
Mm-hmm. And it's not any good.
It's not $300. It wasn't worth $70, which is what I paid for it when it came out.
Yeah, that's what kills me about this. Like, games that aren't worth the price that they launched at are now selling for 10 times that amount. Whereas you can still technically play that game. And, I praise, like, I do a lot of shmemulation I play a lot of stuff on other devices. But like I always praise when you want to bring out your classics, like let people pay for them because they will. And outside of licensing, it's not that hard to do. Like Nintendo could literally put the entire NES library in one download. I get that the licenses aren't going to work for every game, but technically, it's not hard. Now, collecting all of those cartridges physically, son, you're going to need a third job. To play Flintstones at Dinosaur Peak or some shit. That's not even worth it.
They're not worth it. I'm sorry, they're just not worth it.
No, they're not.
99.9% of the time, the prices that you're going to pay are not worthwhile.
No, not for the games that they are. Like, I think Little Samson is an awesome game. I don't think it's
a fine game.
Yeah,
it's not whatever price it is.
I watch a lot of like retro YouTube stuff, and I saw is it like Magical Chase or something for the Turbo Graphics is like $2,000 or something like that. Like that game is not worth $2,000. It's weird, man. All right. Spending $70 or having it in Game Pass is a choice, but allowing them to sell on the competition is easy money. The Xbox community wants Microsoft to do everything the same way as Sony. Xbox has tried, and it didn't work. Changing strategies is not a problem. More people playing games is not a problem. Once you take your identity out of the games, you will understand. This, just like Xbox One generation, Microsoft is ahead of the curve, and we are old men yelling at the change. Finally, Towerborn looks more expensive, but for some reason I'm less excited. I don't mind that it's launching on Steam, but it's launching in early access. The games look feature complete, but I wonder if they're doing this to double dip on deals, get early access money, plus Game Pass money. Sorry for rambling. I've had a string of thoughts that I needed to get out. I think he's right about old men yelling at clouds, for sure.
I mean, that's always the case.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting old. You know, we grew up in the... Well, I grew up...
It's also, like, let's be honest, all the shit we talk about on this podcast doesn't matter.
No,
it matters.
This don't matter. None of this matters.
I mean, like, you know, we argue and stuff, but, like, at the end of the day, it's also video games. I think that's the difference between us and other podcasts sometimes, that we're willing to admit that, like, no, this matters.
No, dude, none of this matters. Like, I get off of this podcast and then I go play whatever the fuck I want. I go
play or touch grass or do something.
Yeah, like, dude, I only played like 2 hours yesterday because I was so busy. Like, I didn't stop running yesterday until like almost 6:30 at night.
Like, I think that's my biggest issue with all the people online is, like, y'all need lives.
Oh, 100%. Like, if you're out there spending 3 or 4 hours a day in space, like, I can't say anything because I'll talk for 3 hours on this show and talk about stuff. But it's all like this show is also
3 hours. It's also 3 hours, and then we're basically done.
Yes, and honestly, I keep doing it as well because I like chatting with you guys and like talking to the people who listen. It's not the
same as, I mean, the people that are like
screaming at each other about plastic boxes.
Like, it's
Like, it ain't that serious, brother.
Jim Cat is basically who I'm talking about.
Oh, God, Jim Cat. Like, he's still out there talking about Indiana Jones. I'm like, dude, nobody cares.
He is like a scorned ex.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Him and, what's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here. I'm sorry. I just can't. Let me hold up my controller so you can see what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna look surprised at my photo. Yeah. I can move your hands more so it covers more of your face. Don't put them on your cheeks like you're surprised.
Let's do this.
God, fuck, he sucks.
Like, if you're just like was said in that email, if your identity is based on your console, you're a fucking loser. Gonna say that.
If your identity is fucking always picking fights about goddamn video games online, you need to go out into the real world and try talking to someone like that.
I always
give you the face of, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, really.
I honestly go back to the tried and true of, like, I would love to show your friends and your family your tweets. And like, how embarrassed would you be by that? That you're out here screaming about a plastic box. Like, for real. Like, anyway, let's do these tweets and get out of here. Because Terrence had to leave, unfortunately. Something came up, so he's no longer here. Jeremy says, good morning, gents. It sounds like Black Myth Wukong is killing it. I'm sure you already talked about it, but I love seeing a game be a surprise hit. I'm also pretty excited for the Everspace 2 DLC. Are any of you getting it? As for what I'm playing, I just reached Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if there's supposed to be another word in there. I think I'm going to be playing this game well into the next year. Absolutely phenomenal so far. Already have a great week, and thank you for the show. The two people who would be into the Everspace DLC are not here. Terrence already left, and Ryan was off today. So, I'm not going to play it. I don't think you've even played the original.
No.
So, space shooter's not really my jam. Yeah, I like seeing games be a surprise hit. Like the Black Myth stuff was pretty cool. Shogun did tweet at us. He said, so anyone play Concord? The game don't look bad. I think the narrative around it killed the game hype. What can they do to fix bad PR? We talked a little bit about this. I don't know that you can at this point, and I don't think it's bad PR. I think it's just that you're charging $40 for a steak that somebody else got for free. To use Anthony's.
It's not even that. It's even if this was free to play, like taking the price out of it, because that's what pushes it into the absurd range. The idea that you're going to win, do you know how good you have to be to win someone over from what they already do?
You gotta be Final Fantasy 14.
Like, it is extremely difficult to. You might win new people, sure, but you need to, like, when you're moving into an already heavily saturated market, like, it's just I have no idea why anyone thinks they're going to be successful. It's literally what oh god, Tommy, fucking forgotten it, Talrico.
Oh, I was God. Like, I don't know what you're reaching for here.
Repressed his memory. It's kind of like when he said, like, the Amico only has to get so much of the gaming market to be successful. No, you don't get it. Like, you can't be. That's the reason why, like, if you're going for a single player games have an end generally. So like people move on from them, but there's, they spend a significant time with them. There's a reason why Assassin's Creed is still successful. It has nothing to do with the multiplayer. And it's just like, coming in and trying to be a multiplayer game, something that kind of requires your constant attention to maintain any semblance of, like, competition. I just don't get it. Like, it's literally, it's interrupting the meal and being like, actually, this one, though. Like, I can't split my time between two of these.
No. And there's already too much domination in that genre.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody's got their shooter. Like, online shooters are...
Like, because not only do we have hero shooters, we have, like, B tiers in the hero shooters. Stuff that you don't necessarily remember, but are still ongoing. Apex Legends.
Paladins.
Like, those are not the biggest of these, but they still have a player base.
Yeah.
And you're going to come in now?
This is not the right time.
Even if you beat someone else, it's a B tier position. It's not something that had a higher peak and is now sitting below it. Like, you have to come in and try to get people from. It's so dumb. It's like, it's so dumb.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, I don't want people to think that I don't have sympathy for those developers. They worked on that game for 8 years. Like, I get it, but
it reads like a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but we've put 8 years into it. I can't say if this is true or not because I've heard it from somebody who read it online type of thing. But I have heard that when Bubsy 3D got revealed, I guess they saw Mario at the same time, and one of the devs turned to the other and said, "We have wasted our time. And it's like, yeah, because you see what is better than you. Like, that they saw Super Mario 64 and went, yeah, Bubsy 3D can't compete.
Yeah. I can't imagine how it feels to be like when you launch Concord and you see that there's less than 1,000 people playing, like how devastating that has to be. Like, I empathize with that. Like, it's just...
I understand it, but at the same time, like, you know, unlike Bubsy 3D that was trying to revolutionize something, you were entering into a market that's pretty much nailed down. Like, you're not trying to reinvent anything, or invent anything, I should say, technically. Like, you're not having to figure out how to move in 3D space anymore. Like, I'm sure the aiming works. Like, it's nothing new. Like, so it's just like, what do you bring to the table? Well, we've kind of sorted it out differently. Okay, but again, what do you bring to the table that's fundamentally different? We had Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers was a hero-ish shooter. Had, like, a gravity effect that none of the other ones did, and it still couldn't survive.
Yeah.
Also
limitation, too.
But it's the same thing that happened with all the PUBG clones, right?
Oh, there were so many of those.
Battle Royales. There was a bunch of Fall Guys ripoffs. You know, it's just like, maybe some of these succeed, but like, you can't all succeed.
I mean,
like,
we talked about it earlier with the horror games. Like, why would you go after Dead by Daylight? Like, why?
You should, like Killer Clowns. Are you gonna pretend that you're bigger than, like, Halloween that's in Dead by Daylight?
Or the 50 other horror characters who are in Dead by Daylight?
I figured Halloween was the most hot.
I think Freddy's in there. Stranger Things is in there. I mean, fuck, like, everybody's in there. Like,
Silent Hill is in there. Resident Evil's in
there. Yeah. Like, you're really gonna do better than that? I don't think so.
Evil Dead is in there, and Evil Dead tried to have its own game.
It's crazy to me that they're bringing back that Predator game. Like, that thing is not going to move.
Wait, they're bringing that game back? Hunting Grounds?
Yeah, and they're putting it on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't
Aliens
get it.
Fireteam Elite.
That game is good, but it's like everything else. It doesn't matter. It's crazy to me. Like, I enjoyed playing that game, but yeah, like, it just... Yeah.
Okay, so like I remember how I went off on the Manscaped rant, right? I did make a joke in there that said that there was too many people making shaving like clubs or whatever, because there was Dollar Shave Club, and then there was Harry's Razors and all the fucking too many people needing to shave. Too many goddamn ads. There's too many. I mean, you and I watch Austin Eruption. He gets meals from Factor. There's there was Blue Apron at one point. I don't know if
everybody's got a VPN. VPN.
HelloFresh, VPN, like, and it's just this, like, guys, like, I get that you think you can compete, but like, for every VPN that's advertising, there's got to be like a bunch of them that just don't even have that. Right, and they're still trying to compete. It's like, sometimes you just have to kind of hang it up. It sucks. Like, if we were doing this podcast for money,
there's no way. Yeah, I talked about that with my Star Wars Outlaws review. I was like, if I had to worry about clicks, like, it would be devastating for me not to have my review this morning.
Right.
But I don't, so I don't care. Like, I have always kept this as something I do because I'm interested in it. I enjoy doing it, but the minute it becomes that it has to be my livelihood, nah. That's why I'm glad I didn't go into try to pursue professional game stuff, because like, it's just...
Thank God from a 2024 perspective anyways, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, it's miserable out there. Like, I see people getting fired all the time and layoffs and all this stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with any of that. And not to mention that, like, when you do something as a job, a lot of times you end up hating it. So, I like video games too much to hate.
But it's just, it's the, I think I can do that and take a bit of the market, you're not taking a bit of the market. You're going to take a loss.
Yeah. That's just the way it is.
I'm opening a pizza joint right next to Domino's.
Good luck with that.
Godspeed.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all.
Just a fun, weird story.
Oh, go ahead.
I've never understood it, and I don't know how they exist. But, like, sometimes you have, like, a convenience store in one plaza, and then, like, there's a plaza right next door, and it's got its own convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
Where I used to live, there was 2 convenience stores in the same plaza. I've never understood how both of them managed to survive. I assume guys are just pouring money in out of spite to hate each other.
As the Hatfields and the McCoys of convenience stores.
It was like, because the convenience store is kind of an L shape, but it's kind of like reversed. So like you're on the outside of the L, not the inside like normal, where the back of the store only has like 12 feet of room or whatever behind it. And so, like, yeah, it was just this really bizarre where like, one side had a convenience store and the other side had a convenience store. And it's like, okay. I just still don't understand how one wasn't closed, but it's the only time I've ever seen that work, I suppose.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't work anywhere else. You can see it a mile away.
There's a reason why, like, Walmarts and Targets aren't in the same mall.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's it for this week. If you want to send us a tweet, we're at ZTGD Radio on Twitter. If you want to send us an email, it's podcasts@ztgd.com. We'll have more games to talk about next week. Probably some more redacted stuff. Maybe some new stuff. And who knows what other excitement may lay in store. But it's that time of year, so enjoy your video games. Don't worship your plastic boxes. And if you don't have anything else, we'll get out of here.
It's literally like the time where everybody has something.
Oh yeah,
if you have a backlog, trust me.
If you don't have a game coming out in the next 3 months that you're not interested in, you might need a new hobby. Just saying. That's it for us. We're gonna get out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty, and it goes something like this.